Hey everybody, welcome to the Easy Allies Community Showcase. I'm Brandon Jones.
I'm Kyle Bosman.
Well, I was going to introduce you, Kyle. This is not the Kyle Bosman show, okay? We are here to celebrate the efforts of our community. Okay? You don't just go interjecting. You don't just go being like, hey, it's me. Oh, Kyle. Got my buddy Kyle here. We're going to be looking at comments, some photos, some art, some video, some music, some cool renders, people making characters for games, and animated shorts and stuff like that. We have a game in development that we get an update on every month. How this works for everybody just watching the archive of this or tuning in on twitch.tv/EasyAllies right now is we have a $10 and above tier on patreon.com/EasyAllies. If you are above that, at or above that tier, you can contribute to the Easy Allies Community Showcase. We do this at the beginning of every month. I have a different ally every time, and we go through all of these great contributions. So the beginning of this will be a tremendous amount of comments, a lot of chatting.
Okay.
So that's why, label this a talk show on Twitch. If we're just going to be sharing sentiments from the community, possibly questions about stuff that we do here at Easy Allies, memories, stuff that happened to these individual allies in the month of October, given that was the month leading up to this November Community Showcase. And then we'll get to the really fun stuff. We'll get to comments are fun, but we'll get to drawings and photos and the multimedia aspect of the Community Showcase.
Just a bit of warning. If I'm on a month, if I'm in a community showcase, I'm likely to interrupt and disagree with your comments. It will happen.
It's gonna be a different.
I will jeer you. Yes.
And so we like to let our patrons know ahead of time who's gonna be on the showcase. Because somebody's like, "Oh, I got a juicy comment. Oh, Kyle's on. Oh, no.
Yeah, I'll save it. I'll save it for Ben.
See you in December.
Yep.
So here we go, kicking it off with one of the most prolific showcase allies of all time, Mr. Jason A. Sackle, who had this ready to go. He just saw that post go up and copy pasted this right into there.
Last time I was here, he brought some fire. He brought some.
He always
heat.
brings fire.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And you got your sweater on, so this might be too hot for you. Every so often, a game comes out that redefines the standard and ultimately sets a bar for future games to achieve. In October, I was blown away by a game I originally had no interest in, but I found myself giving it a shot and being floored with its ingenuity and overall quality. I am, of course, talking about Astrobot Rescue Mission.
Ooh, okay.
What an absolute delight it was to play through. I would also like to applaud them for including the DualShock controller as something you can see within the game. For people who aren't familiar with the controller, it just helps so much. It'll highlight the buttons that can be used as well, darkening those that don't do anything. In that respect, not only is the game something that gamers can enjoy, but non-gamers who are curious about VR can as well. I also enjoy how it gets you to move around, to peek around corners, over edges, etc., to see ledges, as well as to find secrets. But yeah, the game is fantastic, yada yada, moving on. The rest of the month was kind of a lull, but I did end up playing the beta for Jump Force. Holy hell, this game is terrible. Here we go.
Nice. Yeah, here we go.
There we go. The character models remind me of when I first played around with Photoshop and overdid it with the plastic wrap filter. The camera angle and effects make it hard to keep track of what's going on and where the opponent is. Blackbeard, who is a large character, will at times completely obstruct the view of the opponent as well. That sounds like a strategy right there. The controls felt clunky in the game, and it was just simply wasn't fun to play. I know it's just a beta, but to salvage this mess to become anything close to mediocre, they would be better off just starting over. If you want a crossover jump game that respects the brands with at least some level of quality, stick with Jump Superstars and or Jump Ultimate Stars for the DS. I think that lends validity to the opinion. If he's like, I've played other games in this franchise, I've seen this done well before. Anyways, yes, something else did come out in October that I wasn't going to ignore. Naturally, it was the Spider-Man DLC. The first chapter, or whatever you want to call it. I also played through again on New Game Plus.
Call it chapter.
And the added
chapter.
difficulty. Had a lot less technical issues this time around, which was nice. As for the DLC itself, it was fun. Not much to say because it was more of the same. Also, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone else waiting for all 3 DLCs to be released before diving in. The PlayStation Classic Thingamajig also came out with a list of games. I went from being super iffy and not all that interested to definitely buying due to a game that I was stunned to see on the list. One so great, so fun, and with one of the best soundtracks of any video game, I would have passed if not for these 2 simple words. Intelligent Cube.
Oh.
Everybody's got their... we did Cubba Jones this morning. There were definitely some people like, Mr. Driller Man, you got problems? And it's like, no, I don't have problems. They're just...
They used to make me listen to Intelligent Cube while I played Tetris.
They made you? Oh, the chicken.
Yeah, they would, yeah.
You listen to this.
And wait, I think it may have been Sackle who made me listen to Untitled. I think he may have submitted that one, actually. Is that true, Chat?
There you go. I wonder.
You would remember, yeah.
Yeah, there was Sackle. That was me.
Yeah.
And Sackle again.
That's funny.
And the Spider-Man DLC we both enjoyed.
Oh, yeah.
It's good times.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to whenever we can share spoilers about that to talk about the thing I didn't like.
I would enjoy Spider-Man
DLC, but it was
DLC
fun.
if it was just like collect some ice cream cones. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just like give me a reason. I was looking for a reason to go back in. They gave me a reason, you know?
We're adding a new time of day, late morning.
I'm in.
Great.
Yep.
It's at least half an hour of web slinging it ahead of me. Mr. Dolphin. Hey, allies. My name is Zach, and I live in Tampa, Florida. I found out about you guys through Game Trailers reviews that my dad used to watch. Every weekend in the early 2000s, when I was about 7 years old, I would go to my grandmother's house, log onto her computer, and binge your reviews.
We can stop right there. This is the first time I've ever heard my parents showed me game trailers.
Yeah,
That's a new one for me. That's pretty interesting.
I like it. And we have, not to just oversell the ending of this showcase, we made it, Kyle.
Oh.
We have a submission for this showcase that means, as far as I'm concerned, we made it.
Jones,
did
you couldn't have sold that more, dude. That is the maximum sellage.
It's coming.
Okay.
I would even tune into reviews of games I wasn't even interested in. That's how entertaining and well-crafted they were. I still have the Excite Bike and Kid Icarus looking animations engraved in my mind from the early days of GT. These then led me to shows on the website like Talking Classics with Keith Apicary and Screw Attack. Exactly 1 week later, my great-grandmother passed away in her sleep to natural causes. For the following weeks, I didn't much care for anything. I was still getting through some of the backlog of GT shows among other videos, and they helped lessen the sting, but not as much as I was looking for. Personally, highly anticipated games Ratchet & Clank, Uncharted 4, and Doom just didn't matter as much. But one day, while on Twitter, I noticed something. A strange date in red font on a black background was posted from the group I was missing. Then it happened. The launch of Easy Allies. While the pitch video had been public for a little bit, the launch megastream put it over the edge for me. For the first time, I felt like myself, and over the course of those hours, I decided I'm becoming a patron. I never bothered with Patreon prior to that day, but it is, and will continue to be a consistent and never wavering investment, well worth more than every penny. So thank you, Easy Allies, for helping me feel better, for getting me through tough days, for taking any feedback, comment, question, or game I submit across the various shows. It still never ceases to surprise me. More importantly, thanks for being yourselves.
Thank you, Mr. Dolphin.
That feels good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Could just start off with a nice little warm one.
I hope you have since gone back and enjoyed Ratchet & Clank, Uncharted 4, and Doom. All excellent games. Alexander Zirianov. Hello, allies. After this year's E3, I've said that it's time to move from PlayStation to Xbox because of Xbox Games Pass, and especially because of streaming games from the cloud.
Wait, I gotta stop you there, Jones.
Yeah.
We get corrected on this all the time. Game Pass.
Oh, he said Game Pass, and I corrected it.
Oh, okay.
That was me.
Game Pass.
Game Pass. Got it. And while streaming technology isn't available yet, I can already sing songs about Xbox Game Pass.
I dare you to.
Firstly, this service is designed to allow you to subscribe and unsubscribe whenever you want. Free games with PlayStation Plus and Live Gold are gone for good if you are not paying for this month, and they give you a discount for a 12-month subscription. These are simply psychological tricks that somewhat force you to pay more than you probably want. Xbox Game Pass has no such trickery, and you get everything that was added to the service up to this point. Combine that with regular $1 for 1 month promotional price, and you get a service that feels like an easy purchase. Secondly, Xbox Game Pass includes all Microsoft exclusives day one, which essentially means that they cost $10 to play, or even $1 if you got the promotion. You can say the PlayStation has better exclusives, but they are hardly 6 times better, and certainly not 60 times better. For some gamers, this doesn't matter, but if you have a limited budget...
Hold on.
Yeah.
You just get to come on. No way.
He did the math!
We just let people spew this on Community Showcase?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Okay, all right. I think Alexander is implementing a little psychological trickery right now. But go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
We'll see where it wraps up. It's a big comment. For some gamers, this doesn't matter. But if you have a limited budget, then the amount of enjoyment per $1 becomes a huge factor. And
Super true.
Xbox
Yes.
Game Pass enables you to discover games that you would never play otherwise. I have Game Pass, and it was really nice knowing I own Forza. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
well, I can just download that.
Heck yeah.
For example, I don't play fighting games, but since I've got access to Injustice Gods Among Us, I've decided to play its story mode, which was quite entertaining. Survival games are also not for me, but I've played a bit of The Flame in the Flood, which helped me get a better understanding of this genre. Also, I don't like old games, but I tried the first Gears of War. Old games. Yep. I've stopped after the first act because I couldn't care less about the story, and character movement felt too slow and junky to enjoy the game. My dip into the Gears of War franchise could have ended there, but since I had access to all the games, I've tried 2, also not good, 3, the same, and Judgment, the same. Finally, I've played Gears of War 4, and it was much better.
Oh.
So I saw it to the credits and found myself anticipating Gears of War 5.
Huh.
In summary, Xbox Game Pass offers so much value for a small price. It's definitely worth subscribing once in a while. Not all the time, apparently.
Yeah, that's a funny way to say that. Yeah, I guess you get your fill.
Yeah.
You check out the games that you wanted to check out. But yeah, I mean, I guess at that point, you're just waiting for new games to plop in.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? What's going on here?
What's going on? What's wrong? Tell me.
Sorry. Whoa. Okay, I messed up. Wow, that was crazy because it actually kind of worked. I plagiarized. I plagiarized a comment.
Are there 2 comments about?
No, it printed in a weird order. It printed in a weird order.
Okay.
So I continued Mr. Dolphin's comment, but that was not Mr. Dolphin's comment.
Oh.
I'm gonna take it back, Kyle. I'm gonna give justice to this comment.
Because Mr. Dolphin did turn from 7 to an adult really quickly.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
Start this over. I apologize.
All right.
I'm surprised nobody in chat was like, what?
It was confusing for me. Okay.
Hi, allies. My name is Zach, and I live in Tampa, Florida.
Yes.
I found out about you guys through Game Trailers reviews that my dad used to watch. Every weekend in the early 2000s, when I was about 7 years old, I would go to my grandmother's house, log onto her computer, and binge your reviews. I would even tune into your reviews of games I wasn't even interested in. That's how entertaining and well-crafted they were. I still have Excite Bike, the Kid Icarus-looking animations engraved in my mind from the early days of GT. These then led me to shows on the website like Talking Classics with Keep At The Carry and Screw Attack.
Yes.
Continued. I then rediscovered you all when Game Trailers shut down, which led me to constantly sift through old archives where I discovered Final Bossman First 15 and most importantly your final stream. I am now 19 years old and have been a patron ever since you guys started Easy Allies. Before I go on, I just wanted to say how much you guys mean to me. I'm not the most social person nor the most compassionate or happy, but when I watch your group streams, it feels as though I am all those things, so huge thanks to you all. I'm in college and doing the first year online, which means more time for video games. Right now, I'm currently on track to have played through 30 single-player games this year, including Spider-Man, God of War, No More Heroes, Yakuza 0, Bayonetta 1 and 2, GTA 4, the entire Metal Gear Solid series, and Beautiful Joe, just to name a few. With so many games comes challenges, whether it be the endless grinding in Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker just to reach the final mission, or the onslaught of grueling bosses and stages in Beautiful Joe. Both had me nearly pulling all my hair out. Did you ever beat Beautiful Joe?
Never touched Beautiful Joe.
Oh, dude, Beautiful Joe's great.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
Actually. I bet
and it
cool.
was a game. It was like Devil May Cry. I'm like, I want to love this. I'm just terrible at it.
Yeah.
Though through these rough times, I listened to Cup of Jones and the Community Showcase with Bloodworth while playing, and both helped me to overcome these tough games. Beautiful Joe was especially difficult. My final time with the game included the most intense final boss battle of my life.
Whoa.
After overcoming the seemingly almighty villain after many hours, I was tearing up before realizing that there was one last form left. With a mixture of emotions, I started duking it out with the final battle and having to pause the game in the middle of the fight, knowing that if I fail here, I have to restart the entire level. I'm happy to say that I defeated the boss with exactly 1 health point to spare. This game will probably stick with me for the rest of my life just because of how gratifying it was to complete the most difficult parts of it. My question to you, have there been similar video game moments that you have experienced? Much love and respect, Mr. Dolphin. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I only saw the ending of because of the Game Genie. And I tried so hard. I think that's the farthest I've gone into something I could instantly fail in my whole life.
I think hardest, most grueling boss fight for me is Ultimisia of Final Fantasy VIII. I leveled up everybody to level 100 because I thought I would make it better, but she scales up to you.
Oh no!
And so I truly think I put 8 hours into that boss fight, which I think is 3 phases.
What was the trick?
The trick is just using Squall's Lionheart. It's like, you press R1 on time in that game.
Oh, right.
And so it's just like using that a bunch of times, but really just surviving, living a lot, because she just wipes out half your team straight from the start, one of those Final Fantasy bosses, Just trying to live. Just keep living.
The guy on top of Canehurst Castle almost made me quit that game.
Yes.
and Bloodborne.
Lord something, right?
Yeah, I almost bailed on that guy. That guy was so and I could probably beat him right now. Really go back and like not have a problem, but that guy
Dude,
that guy had my number.
It's all about builds and the weapon you have and how many gems you put in your weapon and stuff like that. Because I hate that. Because somebody's just like, yeah, kill him in 3 shots. Well, for me, it took like 50 hits. Good job with your 3 shots. Good build, dude. But like, that's a hard boss fight. Martyr Lagarius. Well done, chat. You know what also I relate to in that is this feeling of like, I feel like I'm only social and happy during streams as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you turn it on for streams, but also streams make you jolly. I get that. I absolutely get that vibe.
I like when I have flashes of what it must be like to watch our stuff.
Yes.
I like cutting the podcast when I'm not on it. It's fascinating to hear moments and I'm like, haha, these guys are funny. Oh, that's it right there. That's the thing. Like, all right. Yeah. Bottle that, put that on the shelf, try to remember what that feels like. Mm-hmm. And then the other comment I Frankensteined, the first part of Brandon K. Gann's comment.
Sorry, Brandon.
For this month, my comment is inspired from previous comments from the showcase about one's history with game trailers and EZ allies. Mm-hmm. So it's very similar comments.
It actually was, yeah. And they turned
this is going to be a 2-part comment. Well, we made it 2 parts, with next month surrounding and focusing on community. But I just wanted to go ahead and focus on the group that brought us all together. I wasn't really a follower of the big name internet sites for a while, so I didn't frequent GameSpot and IGN much, whereas I relied on my gaming coverage back in the heyday of G4 and Spike, of all places. And it was through Spike that I first came across Mr. Keeley, and he said the production was from quote-unquote game trailers. So I decided to look up GT because, well, that sounds like an awesome name about something not focused on as much as gaming and the games themselves. And it was then I discovered things like Pop Fiction, Level, GT Countdowns, and Trailer Score, all unique in their own ways that I felt were important and entertaining. And of course, the main pillars, GT Time, Huber Hype, Final Bossman, and the reviews. This was around late 2014 to early 2015, and the E3 2015 coverage and reactions cemented me in being a lifelong fan of sincere and genuine people who loved games, gaming, everything surrounding them, and everything in between. And then, on February 8th, 2016, GT shut down. By this point, I'd come to rely on GT for entertainment and GameSpot for strictly news, so having lost an outlet for fun and engaging commentary was a massive bummer. Over the course of the following week, I was searching for something else to fill the void. And exactly 1 week later, my great-grandmother passed away in her sleep to natural causes. For the following weeks, I didn't care much for anything. I was still getting through some backlog of GT shows among other videos, and they helped lessen the sting, but not as much as I was looking for. Personally, highly anticipated games, Ratchet & Clank, Uncharted 4, and Doom just didn't matter as much. But one day, while on Twitter, I noticed something. A strange date in red font on a black background was posted from the group I was missing. Then it happened, the launch of EZ Allies. While the pitch video had been public for a while, the launch megastream put it over the edge for me. For the first time, I felt like myself over the course of those hours. I decided I'm becoming a patron. I've never bothered with Patreon prior to that day, but it was, is, and will continue to be a consistent and never wavering investment well worth more than every penny. So thank you, EZ Allies, for helping me feel better, for getting me through tough days, for taking any feedback, comment, question, or game I submit across the various shows. It still never ceases to surprise me. Most importantly, thank you for being yourselves. Do both of them mention grandmothers too?
No.
They don't? I would go to my grandmother's house, log onto her computer, and binge your reviews.
Well done, Judge.
Exactly 1 week later, my great-grandmother passed away.
I see what she's at.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. The pages are numbered. I will pay closer attention to those page numbers. And continuing Alexander Zarianov's comment, which is what threw me off from the get-go. It captivated me so much, it being
Gears of War 4.
Gears of War 4, yeah. That it pushed my Assassin's Creed Odyssey playthrough to November, which means that I'll play Red Dead Redemption 2 in December. It's not going anywhere, don't worry about it. I will also buy both games during Black Friday sale, which will be just another thing I'll get cheaper because of Xbox Game Pass. P.S. While writing this comment, I've accidentally typed PlayStation. Quite telling, isn't it?
No. Wait, hold on. Why are those cheaper because of Game Pass? Red Dead Redemption 2 is cheaper because of Game Pass? Or
because you're not limited to that, which is the month. You know, you can buy Game Pass for a month and then bail, and then 5 months later buy it again. But you can't for PlayStation. They're like, no. You have to buy it in longer chunks. You have to commit to a longer period of time.
How's that related to Red Dead Redemption 2?
It gets a discount on it.
On Red Dead Redemption 2 for Game Pass?
I guess.
No, I don't think so, buddy.
We'll see.
All right.
The Black Friday sale, I guess, through Game Pass? I don't know.
Okay. I think you're going to get it cheaper at Best Buy, dude.
Christian Thomas, well, this little spot seems nice and cozy. Good thing, too, because there's plenty to waffle on about this month. That's it. A lot of people leave comments and then are like, all right, I'll type in the comment later, and then That later never happens.
Well,
Of
this
course,
little spot seems nice and cozy. Good thing, too, because there's plenty to waffle on about this month. And then nothing.
Nothing.
Just couldn't pick one thing.
I don't know if that nothing happened and Patreon decided it didn't, or, we'll check in with everybody when the showcase is done to see if we missed anything. Again, I grab all of the stuff the night before, so if you throw something at me in the morning, I'll miss it.
So chat's assumption is that because God of War 4 was cheap on Game Pass, that occupied Alexander long enough to wait until games are cheaper.
Got it. So hopefully maybe there'll be a Red Dead discount or something, or for the holidays?
I don't know, man. I've been playing free-to-play games for nothing, and that's made all the games that come after it way cheaper.
Eli and Peters,
that's a mental trick for you.
The following is an approximation of how my community showcase submission for last month would have looked if I had not, at the time I wrote it, been too exhausted to think. Hey Jonesy, hey Blood, because my 2-year anniversary at my current job is closely coincided with the release of my most anticipated game of the year, the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, I decided to request some time off to relax and play it as much as possible. This plan soon evolved into a long overdue stay at my parents' place, which gave me the opportunity to bring along my PS4 and experience a beautiful looking update to the series that taught me how to 3D in the very same house I once played the originals more times than I can count. My anticipation of this event was to have been my subject for the September showcase, but alas, the delay until November slightly obliterated my plans. It would have been petty of me to re-request time off and reschedule my visit because of a video game delay. I don't know. So I gave my Switch the chance to do what it was made for and ended up playing a lot of Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
Now, as much as
that's how
I'd
you
like
3D, baby.
Now, as much as I'd like the story to end with the reveal that this unexpected change of plans was the reason I had enough time to 100% Odyssey, I actually accomplished that earlier in the month. On my vacation, I mostly just did a second run through to see if I could remember where everything was. Either way, I'm finally in a position to say I reached 999 moons in Super Mario Odyssey, Eli and Peters. Yeah, that's tremendous.
Eli.
You can't say that.
I cannot say I came close to that.
You'll never say that,
I think I
Kyle.
topped off at 600.
You only did 6.
Look forward to those Spyro impressions next month.
Nice. So to stick to the word count, we missed the description, but this is inspired by No Redemption, which is Ian Hink's 30-minute Western horror musical starring you and me.
I'm sorry. I'm a cameo at best. You are a star.
Right, thank you.
Sorry. What's the word count? Sorry, how did that comment
This is
start?
from Spencer Spools of Thread. What I'm about to read is this work in its entirety. There's a $400 to $500 word count on the community showcase, and so they left a big description for what this is. Also a good time to note that if you go to patreon.com/EZAllies, this post is now public. It was $10 and above for the submissions. It is now public for everybody, and so if you would like...
And like Jones just said, if you give us $400 to $500, you can have as many words as you want.
Right. It's $1 per word if you want to add any other words on top.
I do also want to make it clear that, Alexander Ziranov is somebody who pops up in chat frequently and in comments frequently, and that's why I feel okay,
I would say the opposite. Then you should not mock the people who show up the most.
No, like Sackle, like you can make jokes about Sackle
in person.
Yes, I guess that's a big difference.
Sackle
too,
and
right.
I've chided that guy in person many times, so
Yes.
I feel fine doing it online.
Okay.
Spencer Spools of Thread with a little narrative, a little Western narrative for everybody that's in the Western mood. She's heard of them. She's heard more than her fair share of stories of them, those witches vile and their shadowed companion. How the wanderer comes first, quiet and paradoxically bright-eyed, with one hand never straying far from the gun holstered at their hip. How the witches follow behind with bare feet and their hushed giggling hidden behind 2 long fingers. How they take souls with them, leaving behind the silent bodies of those unfortunate enough to cross their paths. She never gave them too much thought beyond that, though. There's always too much to be done to think about ghost stories. Glasses won't get cleaned unless she cleans them. Wards on the bar's outside walls won't refresh themselves. The cat won't quiet down unless he's fed. So she puts them out of mind until someone comes asking. There's plenty of actual ghosts to be dealing with anyway, the kind that cram themselves into the small spaces of the buildings and push up against the edges of town trying to make trouble for the living. Troublemaking spirits come out of disturbed graves and try to reclaim their place among beating hearts and rushing pulses. And then there's the tangible magic of the desert itself. The coyotes with the intelligent eyes and barks that always sound too close to words. The dropped feathers signaling the passage of the banker's pet. The canyon no one goes in past sundown because everyone knows the rocks themselves open up to swallow the night weary. The witches and their wanderer slot right in next to the rest, even if the reports are more vague. No one with a first-hand account. You'll know them when you see them, everyone says. You'll know their calling card even better. One shot out of a gun with no bullets. She doesn't hear the doors swing open. No, instead, she hears the silence that falls over the room. Then the muted laughter of women in its wake. Leave it to the women that frequent her bar to laugh at the fear of men, herself included usually. She turns, already preparing to throw out any number of rival cowboys because that kind of silence ain't ever a good thing in her book. What she sees instead is two women in black hovering around the doors, looking both too excited and too smug to mean anything but bad news. Ahead of them, seemingly oblivious to, or maybe expecting, the disturbance they've caused, is a figure dressed in simple reds and whites, still recognizable under the dirt of the desert. She's heard the stories, passed on a few of them herself to the curious and the drunk. The wanderer sits in the stool directly in front of her and raises a hand for a glass. They don't say anything, but she's startled to see them give her a shade of a half smile. She didn't think she'd be in one of them.
That's some good creative writing.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love it.
Good language.
The coyotes with the intelligent eyes and barks that always sound too close to words.
That one hit me, man. That was really good stuff.
That's a good one.
Yes.
All right. Let that soak in. And check out No Redemption if you haven't yet. Jordan Kirk, greetings, allies. Over October, my horror movie Actuality came up a little short from my aspirations, but I did manage to watch probably a dozen or so. Shout out to the last entry in the Child's Play franchise, Cult of Chucky, culmination of a decent slasher thriller, and a ton of fan service make for a surprisingly good 7th entry, especially following the more divisive quality of Bride and Seed. I think there's another one too. I think after Bride and Seed, there's Cult and something else, but yeah, Cult is surprisingly good. However, I do not feel like my time was wasted because I spent the large majority of it in Dragon Quest XI. The graphics are great and add a lot to the storytelling as well. It's brought something to my attention. Although Dragon Quest as a series is more well known for jolly good times, and I wholeheartedly agree, prior to an area's jolly resolution, it can contain unsettling atmosphere, creepy vibes, and downright existential dread. Allow me to provide a quick example. Spoilers for said town. Enter Phenomenon.
Have you been there?
Of course, yeah. I've been everywhere. I beat the game. I do not remember this one.
I've been everywhere, man.
I've been everywhere. A small town layered amongst a mountain. Our party learns that there is a lucky mural in the back of town in some ruins. Turns out that unlucky tourists who examine the mural get trapped in a dream world inside the mural. The second it showed some travelers you encountered the prior day etched into this mural, the switch clicked. This got dark. Those travelers are no longer in this world. Their souls are trapped in this mural, powering its inner demon. Remove the Toriyama art style, and you've got a good monster of the week for Sam and Dean. Do you know who Sam and Dean are?
No.
Supernatural, baby. Of course, it ended up working out in the end, but it's been a treat more easily seeing and acknowledging the storytelling and tonal variety. Lastly, I wanted to perpetuate the good vibes around Red Dead Redemption 2. 2 early observations. First, when you're having a dialogue with someone, there is a full-on additional button press for something along the lines of, well, talk to you later. I barely even do that, so good on you, Arthur, for being a decent conversationalist. LOL. Second, the character building. It felt like I was trying out a round of dominoes. I felt like trying out a round of dominoes. Because my opponent felt so alive just in the few hours I'd played, I felt compelled to play the entire 60-point round, even though I was content with it after 3 or 4 hands, only maybe 15 points in. That'll do for this month. Have an awesome November, and if applicable, a happy Thanksgiving.
Applicable!
And I love, I'm doing all the challenges, and there's like a gambler tier of all the challenges, and it was just like win 3 games of poker, and I'm like, okay, 3 or 5 games. Mm-hmm. And it's fun to I played all game night. So I got there, I played in Rhodes, and it was fun to sit down and guys get up and leave, and other guys come in and sit down, and they'll just be like, oh, forget, I'm out of here, and they'll get up and leave. It's just fun to and people come by and watch for a little bit and then walk away. It's fun having that environment in the background.
Got really frustrated with the poker, Jones.
Ooh.
because they're playing like 4-cent games, you know? And so when I'm trying to scare them out, I'm like, all right, 25 cents. And then they match me with 25 cents when they have bad hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I get you, AI. You're just dumb. You're just a dumb AI. So then I'm like getting them in. I get them all in, Jones, when I have a queen high flush. And then he's like, huh? King high flush. And I was like, oh, that was all my money. And so I'm not playing another hand in poker.
All right. There's also different buy-ins for different areas, so the buy-in isn't always the same.
But it's not always 4
cents. It's more
cents.
expensive in different places.
Yeah. Man, that made me mad.
This is a good one, and it needs a little context for this.
Sam and Dean, by the way?
Yeah.
It's a fun reference. I like that.
Yeah.
The regular...
I watched seasons 1 through 5, and then was
Sam
told
and Dean
to wrap it up. I think I started 6 and was like, I can't. And now it's like even longer than double that. So Dan Allen submitted what we thought was an original poem. We're like, oh, what a nice little art piece that Dan Allen sent in. Mm-hmm. What it was that turned out to be was the prologue of Shenmue.
That's so funny.
And Ian read it, and then Dan submitted the following month a video of the intro of Shenmue with Ian, with Ian's voice.
That's really funny.
And it's really funny because I interrupt Ian.
Yeah.
Like I think of something pertaining to a previous comment, and I just stop him right in the middle, and he stops the intro, and me like, I just want to say this, and Ian's like, the flow, dude. And I'm like, oh, sorry. And so he's like, I'm going to start over. And then he starts the video over. It's really funny. Okay. And then we finish, and we're like, what's that from? I don't know. So Dan's doubling down, and he's curious if this is appropriate for the showcase, and it is very appropriate for showcase. Hello, allies.
Appropriate!
Let me first say I was pleasantly surprised by how well received my EZA Shenmue dub video was last month. Thanks for all the kind words. This month, the Shenmue EZA dub project continues.
Ooh.
I don't know how far I can take this, but I've set some simple goals that involve at least dubbing the opening. This will surely take some time, so if you'll humor me, I promise I won't be making you say random Shenmue lines every chance I get. Mr. Brandon Jones, you have been cast as Hazuki Sensei, father of lead character Ryo. Mm-hmm. If you'd be so kind to say these things. Stay back, Ryo. I've no intention of telling you. No matter how often you ask, I'll never tell. No, don't! Wait! The mirror, it's buried under the cherry tree. Zhao? It can't be you? Forgive me for leaving you alone. Your friends. Keep friends, those you love, close to you. All right. Ryo, while you're still sleeping in bed, farmers are working hard in the fields, carefully picking carrots, one by one. So, how can you waste them like that? Good. That's my boy. Keep your balance. That's right. Now listen. Tighten up your abdomen. Straighten up. Find your center of balance. Yes. Like that. Are you all right? Do you need a break?
No, man, this is good
casting. You're after me, dude. Get ready. Yes, good. The boy you fought with, what is he to you? And what is a friend? That's right. Just as a parent is a parent, a friend is nothing other than a friend. But listen, Ryo, parents often die before their children. That's the law of nature. Friends will be there for you, even after parents die. So treasure your friends. And friends you can trust are true friends indeed. Understood? Mr. Kyle Bossman, you have been cast as main villain Lon D. If you'll be so kind as to read this, thus immortalizing yourself as the greatest Dreamcast villain of all time.
Lon D. Okay. For the last time, where is the mirror? Now then, hand over the mirror, or else your son. Do you remember Cao Sun Ming? That's the name of the man you killed in Min Kun. Get up! I'll allow you to die like a warrior. Get up. I'll allow you to die like a warrior.
That's what I can't wait for, the fight. That fight's going to be good.
It's only available during the Christmas holiday. What do you say? Okay.
It's a good one.
That was a whole different character.
Brought Amanda for that one. Magical, all the love, all the respect. Thank you once again. Love and respect, Dan Allen. Detroit, Michigan. I like the city there.
This is going to take a year, but it will be so funny. Are you waiting for Huber to be Rio, probably? Like, man.
Oh, I guess, yeah. To get everybody in there.
That's going to be real good.
Anytime someone says the EZA blank 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 project, it's like, yes. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
We are ready and down. And that is very appropriate for the showcase. Carl Williams. Hey, Brandon and Kyle. I'm back with more thoughts on the Pokemon anime. It's perfect timing, too, since the Twitch Marathon has taken a break. This will be a long one. Are you ready?
Oh, I guess so.
Number 1, the show continues to be vastly entertaining as it moves on to the Hone region. For the most part, I felt like I found myself laughing at most of the episodes. The chemistry and interactions were great, Meowth's delusional boss fantasies were ridiculous and comical, and you always had several moments sprinkled throughout the seasons that either blew your mind or made you laugh and think, that doesn't make any sense, like Thunder Armor. Although the Pokemon contests were an interesting dynamic and a great way to kill time in between Ash's gym battles, it really did make me think of the Westminster Dog Show Pokemon Edition, with added one-on-one competitions. Truly remarkable. Although the point system during the 1v1 matchups is totally flawed, all for the sake of plot armor. Ugh. Number 2, I have a favorite Pokemon in Hone, Torchic. It's so cute, and I like that it has such small wings. No way that thing is flying. I love the episode where they had to look after a Torchic that was such a little jerk. It could straight up troll you by turning on the waterworks in an instant and then attack you.
Torchic is your favorite?
What a I knew you weren't going to like it. What a shame that you were either going to say yes right away or it was not going to work out. What a shame that the Torchic that belonged to May was hardly used. Other Poke-notables, Trico is cool. Roselia? Roselia is so elegant. Ash's Corphish was an ass, but I still liked him.
Like that Corphish.
I heard you like Mudkip, but Torchic and Trico are better.
No.
The Spoink in the anime must be some mutated freak. It clearly stops bouncing on its tail several times and does not die. I totally want to shup it.
Never trust the Pokedex.
I'd let Cacnea hug me. Cacnea?
Yeah.
Ludicolo is awesome. Skitty is adorable.
No.
Nya, nya.
No. Wrong.
3, I'm glad Season 9, aka Battle Frontier, was relatively short because it was pretty much awful. Not just because of the changes in voice acting, but oh my god, the Frontier battles and Pokemon contests were riddled with cheating plot armor bullshit. You mean to tell me that if your Pokemon should find itself crashing head-on to a wall during a battle, you can use your own body to prevent that from happening? Yeah, I don't buy it. That happened in 2 separate Frontier battles Ash was involved in, where he used his own body to prevent further injury to his Pokemon.
Yeah, and they act like that's noble, but that it's interfering.
That
totally.
shit shouldn't be allowed.
I'm here with you.
And
yes.
we can't forget the Pokemon contests where you can clearly do backseat coaching in the stands with no repercussions to the person you're helping. Why does May even need coaching from the stands when she obviously has plot armor to help her win? And just remember, draws are allowed in Pokemon contest finals if neither competitor is a bad person. Sorry, Jesse. At the limit once again, I have a lot more to say. Next month, I'll focus on both major and minor characters' movies, the current dub, and of course, Twitch chat. Smell you later. Again. Zachary Walton. Hey, anything to... You made your points clear.
Those are pretty good takes, and I also like that you can clearly tell this person also wishes Jesse competed well in that competition. So there's Jesse and James, Team Rocket, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Jesse at one point truly tried to compete in... The Pokemon contests are like dog shows. And so they do battles, they do have moves against each other, but it's all for show, it's all for flash. And she was doing okay there, but didn't make it all the way. Ugh. And you're rooting for her. You're actually rooting for Jessie more than anyone. You want her to win. We like her at that point.
Zachary Walton. Hey Jones, hey Kyle.
Yeah.
I have lost all motivation to play games after Dragon Quest XI last month. Not to say Dragon Quest XI is bad, far from it. It was an excellent experience. I just find everything after so far to bore me within a few minutes, so this tells me it's time to recharge with Gunpla and anime. So I'll talk about Gunpla at some other time because it's time for one-sentence anime reviews. The fall anime season has been surprisingly great, so here's my Hotake on all the shows that are available on Crunchyroll I've watched this season.
Okay.
That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. If you don't want to read the books, it's a pretty good adaptation, but seriously, read the books.
I hear a lot of good things about that one, though.
Zombieland Saga, a very cute parody of zombie films and idol culture that somehow is able to get over its over-reliance on tropes. EZA Maid, just don't watch this one.
Oh, okay.
My Sister, My Writer, wow, like didn't think anime was this bad was made anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
My Sister, My Writer?
My Sister, comma, My Writer.
My Writer's a sister.
Writing a letter to somebody.
Yeah.
As Miss Beelzebub likes it. I fell asleep.
Good title.
I fell asleep during the first episode because it was too comfortable. Too comfortable. He might mean the couch, though.
No, I think he means like this. Just like it's too like the anime. Anime's got tropes, Jones. That it's just sometimes it's like this. There's nothing unique happening in this entire episode.
Right.
Go. Do you want me to like stall for you?
That's fine.
Crunchyroll.com is a service like Netflix or Hulu. I subbed for Dragon Ball Super.
Nice.
And then haven't let go.
Nice. Ms. Vampire, who lives in my neighborhood, absolutely adorable slice of life that ticks all the boxes for the perfect just got home and want to relax anime. Skull-face bookseller Honda-san?
Ooh.
A beautifully absurd look at the lives of booksellers and the trials and tribulations they endure on a daily basis. Himote House? Another CG anime that just lets the voice actors improvise comedy that's then barely animated to
These are supposed to be one-sentence reviews.
Right.
I'm going to make you do that one again, so I'm sorry for interrupting the whole thing.
No worries.
All I got from the last one about the bookseller is the word beautiful. That's not really a review. It's kind of a summary.
Absurd. A beautifully absurd look at the lives of booksellers and the trials and tribulations they endure on a daily basis.
Okay.
Yeah. If you like absurd, there you go.
I need more. I think
need more?
I need next time put up some points next to these.
Okay.
Scale 1 to 10. Just do it.
Himote House, or Himote House, another CG anime that just lets the voice actors improvise comedy that's then barely animated to stellar results.
Stellar results?
Oh, stellar results, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anima Yell. Is that like opinion yell? A slice of life sports anime that surprised me with a very sincere LGBTQ moment that made the season for me. And finally, Thunderbolt Fantasy 2, the sequel series to my favorite piece of media of all time. Think Chinese Kung Fu, but with gorgeously crafted hand puppets.
Ooh. Oh, I've seen it actually. People have linked that to me. It is really cool.
Nice. And that's it for this season. Sorry, everybody. I don't watch shonen anime. I lost interest in My Hero Academia after the first Deku Bakugo fight, so I'll assume they're all great. Check them out. Love and respect.
Nah, I get it. I 100%
Yeah?
get it. Yeah.
Amanda and I are ready.
To watch My Hero?
Yeah, we're ready.
Oh, okay.
It's a full court press. Everywhere she goes and finds people, they're like, you gotta watch that.
Okay, hop in.
When Amanda comes to me and says we should watch an anime, that's a profound moment in my life, let me tell you. Kyle Lee. Hey, Jones and Bossy.
Hello.
First of all, I just wanted to say how much I adore Box Peak. The way I described it to a friend was, it's just nice. There's none of the cynicism you see so much now. It's just nice and fun and funny. My Geordie shirt arrived yesterday, and I am ecstatic. Can't wait to see where it goes from here. Now, to the games. I'm very glad you two are on this month's showcase, because the first thing I will be talking about is Spider-Man. Last month, I got the Platinum, and you would think that it would be enough for me. No, I dove right back in, and as of now, have two 100% save files, along with 100% completion of The Heist. It is my goatee, unquestionably. Yakuza 0, unfortunately, has not gotten the love it deserves this month, but it's nice to know I have it to come back to when I'm ready. WWE 2K19. I know it isn't y'all's cup of tea beyond the rise of Defalte, but wow, did it impress me. I've been begging for a wrestling game with a good career mode, and this finally gave it to me. Full voice acting, well written, exciting, and different. It constantly presented ideas of, hey, wouldn't this be fun to do? Well, now you can do it. Minor spoilers, but you go to the frickin' multiverse in this game. That, alongside numerous improvements to the overall game, make it the best wrestling game in ages. I love it. Main event time, folks. Main event time, folks. That's right. It's time for Red Dead 2. I will keep this as spoiler-free as possible. I'm currently in Chapter 3 and taking my time with everything. While I'm absolutely enjoying it, I haven't had that moment like I did in Spider-Man, where I felt like it was the game of my dreams. However, I have been playing it a lot, getting distracted by poker for hours at a time, and going full real-world RP with my horses. Jones, that's why I didn't reload my save to bring Tortilla back to life, or use a reviver. If I was dumb enough to get my horse killed, I have to live with it. And let me say, a game giving me a chance to kill a former slave owner in a way that results in his body being burned alive in his campfire, so satisfying. That's all for this month. Next month, I'll finish up Red Dead Redemption 2, get back to Yakuza, and who knows, maybe even tackle Pokemon Sun's Elite Four finally. Just gotta keep grinding. Love and respect for life, Kyle Goldilocks Lee. There's a gang, a really savage gang in that game, and I came across one of their camps. And I don't know what was wrong with me at the time, but I picked up every single person that I killed in this gang at their campfire and put them on the campfire. And like,
do they burn?
Yeah, everything burns in the game.
Huh.
And so they just one by one this burning pile of dudes.
Do they become bones?
I was sending a message.
Do they become bones?
No.
Oh.
But they don't. It's fun if you like watch CSI or like crime dramas. They talk about, if you watch Making a Murderer season 2, they talk a lot about what happens to a body when they burn. And
well, what happens to a body when they burn?
It's mostly arms and legs, but like your torso, your core part, it's very hard. Unless you're like in a furnace that just, I'm gonna just keep burning this thing all day. You're not gonna get to ash on like a campfire.
So it's like a wet log.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's interesting.
That is interesting.
Because they like a lot of people that talk about, what a horrible tangent on the community showcase, but like they talk a lot about in crime novels or in forensic files, which I love, that you can tell from a crime scene the person's like, well, burnt that body, oh crap, and like, and then they have to move it somewhere, and then of course the evidence all goes with it, and so they're like, not only can I tell you burned it, I was told that you were surprised that was not the end.
Have you used a horse revival potion?
Several times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's the word on the ground. Revive me. You're like, no.
Oh.
I had to, the first time I had to use it, I didn't have one. I didn't buy it. I didn't realize what it did. And so I had to like run to town and then run back hoping that like I wouldn't find my horse.
And it was still there?
It was still there.
That's cool.
Whimpering.
I got a sketchy pre-order horse who's super strong.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's got like 75% full health and just never gets that hurt,
Wow.
We could fall off a cliff and we're fine.
I actually noticed for as much of horse like maintenance that you have to do, my horse's tired meter ran out much faster in the first Red Dead. That was gone. You would literally like hit X repeatedly, and you can do that for like 10 seconds, whereas like you can do it for a long, long time now.
And you can like do it with the rhythm of the horse.
Which is crazy.
That.
Yeah, the
That's
more
a cool
you do it
aspect.
with the rhythm of his footsteps, the slower it drains the stamina. Barry Bumfroyd. Happy Thursday, Jones, Kyle, and chat. Last month, I gave a shout out to 3 awesome members of the community, and I thought I'd do something similar again this month. To Ray Luaza. Follow him at Ray Luaza on Twitter for his 30 Days of Gaming Villains artwork for Inktober. Oh, we might get a little of that later in the showcase if you want to see it. Ray's art is absolutely stunning. I can attest to that. And absolutely worth having a scroll through for his takes on villains like Sephiroth, Waluigi, and Majora. His work on each of EZA with their Pokemon is also an easy 10. You remember that with Mr. Mime, and you're like, ah!
Oh,
That's
yeah,
Ray
but
Luaza.
like I got a...
You got 2.
I got like a one that I actually like with Farfetch'd, and that's my current Twitter profile.
You didn't deserve that, Farfetch'd. You didn't deserve
Yes, I
2
did.
pieces of art.
Yes, I did.
Just take Mr. Mime,
Because
enjoy
I'm
the joke.
like I'm gonna make that my Twitter icon. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
make that. So it was like cool.
So Ray, that's a shout out to the collective unofficial EZA Discord. They will probably be too busy confirming leaks for Smash Brothers to see this, but they've been great at keeping me mostly sane for the run up to some stressful meetings and the excruciating wait for Red Dead Redemption 2. Unofficial EZA Discord, that's a shout out. Finally to Kyle Bossman for his really quite insane level of work on Box Peak. It's so phenomenal that I sent it to my mum. She works in crafting jewelry and she's become quite obsessed.
Ooh.
Mum. Imagine calls like, Monday, right? Monday at 10? Yes, Mum. Mm-hmm. Good luck with the next 5 episodes, one-off Christmas special Gundam stream, maybe? And we can't wait to find out more about Boxhead. Kyle Bossman, that's a shout-out. Love and respect to all, Barry.
Shout out, Barry.
Boxhead. I also can't wait to hear about Boxhead.
They call him Boxito Mask. I like that one the best.
Boxito, B-O-X-C-I-T-O, Boxito?
No, like a tuxedo. Boxito Mask.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a season 2.
Thinking about making it canon, man.
It's not too late.
It's not too late.
Stephen Beaumont, hey guys, quick wrap up, enjoying Red Dead. At the moment, God of War is still beating it for Goaty. Just finished Uncharted 4, loved this game, amazing story, still meh on shiny treasure blips. Now for the important part. Brandon, this entire post is 207 words long, so please take your time to read this amazing prose to Kyle.
So it's saying, hey, I know I'm under the word limit, so spread this out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready, Kyle?
Yeah.
This is for you. Hello there, the angel from my nightmare, the shadow in the background of the morgue, the unsuspecting victim of darkness in the valley. We can live like Jack and Sally if we want, where you can always find me. We'll have Halloween on Christmas, and in the night, we'll wish this never ends. We'll wish this never ends. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody. And always this sick, strange darkness comes creeping in, so haunting every time. And as I stared, I counted the webs from all the spiders, catching things and eating their insides. Like indecision to call you and hear your voice of treason. Will you come home and stop the pain tonight? Stop this pain tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Original piece.
Small Leviathan. Hello, Brandon and Kyle.
Can I pause for a second?
No.
So, like, the way this started was, it's $10 and up a month.
Yeah.
That's a steal. If you're paying $10 to get Jones to do that, that's too cheap. What a steal, man.
Yeah.
Okay. That was good.
But I think it speaks to distortion on both ends of the aisle. It's like for us, like we're amazed at the amount of support that we get. We hit that studio goal. We're searching for a studio.
Yeah.
At the same time, I hear from a lot of people. They're just like, oh, you do so much stuff, for the amount that we give. So I think it evens out in the showcase.
Yes. Yeah.
And to hear that is of value to you.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
Like getting a podcast 2 days early, who cares? But like getting Jones to read awful lyrics is so fun.
Small Leviathan. Hello, Brandon and Kyle. When last week started, I thought I wasn't going to have much to talk about, and as the month had been decidedly uneventful for me, but that changed rapidly over the last couple of days. Starting us off, I played Rune Chapter 1.
Heck yeah.
The first part of Toby Fox's mysterious new project after Undertale. Since it's still relatively new, I don't want to go into too much detail, though I will say that it does throw quite a few curveballs toward you, while still retaining a lot of the charm and wit that made Undertale so appealing in the first place. Additionally, I played the demo for the upcoming Tetris Effect, which is much more than just another re-release of the classic puzzle game. I bumped into there was a kid in front of me in line at Disneyland recently that was playing Scribblenauts Unlimited for the Switch.
Whoa.
And I was really impressed because he had the Switch on one arm and he had the Joy-Con on the other, and he was like motion controlling like outside, like while he was walking in line for Haunted Mansion.
It's the dumb party game version of Scribblenauts.
And we were talking about Halloween costumes and games and stuff like that, and he was like, oh, I went as this character. And I was like, ooh, I don't know. I'm like, I think I know, I've heard of that, but I don't know what franchise that was from. And I hate saying that to a kid, where it's just like, I'm not as cool as you maybe think I am with the games that I play. And his mom leaned in. She's like, Undertale. And I'm like, right, cool.
Oh.
But
do you remember which Undertale character was?
Do not.
Okay.
Sorry. did play Undertale. Familiar with it, seen it. Being developed by the team behind the games like Rez and Luminous, Tetris Effect uses its audio and visuals to give a sense of feedback that takes the Tetris experience to a whole new level. Since it's just good old Tetris at its core, I really can't think of a lot to say, but I must stress that this game is jaw-droppingly gorgeous, and the soundtrack is phenomenal. The sound is the best part of the game. That's me saying that. Especially the song used for the game's reveal trailer, I'm Yours Forever. Finally, I want to talk about the game I played first out of these, but that I wanted to save for last, since I have a lot of thoughts on it. On Halloween night, I decided to play something a bit spooky, and there was a horror-y game that had caught my eye, namely, We Know the Devil. We Know the Devil is a visual novel about 3 teenagers at a Christian summer camp, tomboyish Jupiter, snarky Neptune, and shy Venus, who are assigned to spend the night in a cabin in the woods to keep watch for the devil. The game's core themes are exclusion and ostracization. Wow, never done that one. I've said ostracized. Ostracization. And this is present not just in the story or the characters, but also in the gameplay. At key moments in the narrative, the player has to choose which 2 of the 3 protagonists are going to do something together, like play Truth or Dare or patrol the woods. While this strengthens the bonds of those 2 characters, you're always forced to leave someone out. And when you're when you're lonely, the devil comes. But we know the devil isn't just about being left out. It's also a story about love, queer love, and as a queer person myself, I found it profoundly touching. The game also sports a wonderfully atmospheric soundtrack, including one of the most panic-inducing songs I have ever heard, and a really unique mix of sketchy, hand-drawn character sprites with found footage-inspired photo backgrounds, lending the whole game an aesthetic all its own. I didn't expect to like We Know the Devil as much as I did, but excellent writing, great soundtrack, and one of the best true endings I've ever seen make this game a new favorite. Love and respect. Small Leviathan.
Small
Love
Leviathan.
that deep cut game recommendation of something I've never heard of.
Have you heard Ezra?
Oh, yes.
That to me is the most panic-inducing song I've ever heard.
So we'll see. We'll have to know. Greater or less than Ezra.
Yes.
That's how we can really, really understand.
Is that a reference? Greater than Ezra? Is that a thing?
Better than Ezra, I think, is a band.
Yes, there it is. There it is, yes.
Wow. Here we go. Lots of musical tributes in this episode of the Community Showcase. Christopher Fields, top of the day, Brandon and Kyle.
Oh, top of the day!
Oh, hello to you! I once again returned to the Community Showcase, bringing a review of a game I've recently played for the first time that has something to do with the Allies. And as for Kyle, there isn't a game that I associate with him more than Mega Man Legends.
Oh, nice.
There's just one small thing. I've already played Mega Man Legends extensively. It was the first game in the franchise I experienced and still my favorite Mega Man game, though I never did play the other Legends games until very recently. So instead, let's talk about Mega Man Legends 2.
Yes.
Overall, this game is excellent. While its story got a little too convoluted for me, Legends 2 makes improvements in the right ways. For one, I don't think I've been as happy to have a DualShock for another PS1 game. Using an analog stick to control Mega Man in a 3D space sounds perhaps a bit obvious looking in from the outside, but I didn't realize how much I needed it until now. Being able to move around a locked-on target makes the last game hard to go back to. It's not perfect, but it does a lot in removing the stip movement from the last game. Not only is dodging enemies a breeze now, but dropped loot from Reaver bots is much more fun to collect. On top of that, the dungeons are better. All the grand ruins in the game feel closer to Zelda dungeons, while still not as involved in terms of puzzles or exploration as its 3D adventure brother. The inspiration it takes benefits the game. Seeing the underground environments be affected by your actions is something that just feels good to be a part of. Even the much less exciting side dungeons were still very fun to explore. If nothing else, it feels much better to traverse due to the enhanced combat, but during my time playing this game, there was something that felt off, and oddly enough, it's a complaint I would describe as Bosmanism. There's not the same sense of adventure. My favorite part about playing Legends 1 for the first time was going back into an underground entrance at the north part of the island, only to take me back to one of the starting underground areas in the south. It made the world feel much more alive, stopping me to appreciate it.
Yes.
There isn't a moment like that here. Since the game takes place on multiple islands, it can't deliver the same intimacy for its world. While there are towns that need repairs, it's a shame that there's no town like Catalox that you can build up bigger and better than before. It's for that reason I still love the original Legends over this game. Despite Legends 2 being a better game, it feels a little less like an adventure, and it's just not the same without it. Consider it a reason why Mega Man Legends may, one day, be a great over its sequel. Now I'll just sit and wonder what Mega Man Legends 3 could have been if it had combined the best of both worlds. Thank you for all the work that you do, Allies. Chris the Fields.
Chris the Fields, 100% on the same page with you right there.
Oh no, that's a deep cut. It's just one of those things that I know, like an announcement that you would love, or something that I know, you harbor a bit of resentment toward. We never got Legends 3.
I think Legends 3 wouldn't have been as good as we want it to be. But also, I feel the same way about 2. I feel like, there's a story, the adventure in there isn't as solid as it is in Legends 1. And Legends 1 is a pretty perfect game.
It's fair.
Pretty good.
Bite-sized manga. I was trying to make a Hall of Greats joke there, and that pause I took, that's the amount of time I gave myself to think of one. Couldn't think of anything. Like, you should tell us about that game sometime, Kyle.
Oh, that was funny, yeah.
No, not funny.
Okay.
Greetings, Allies. Teresa in chat, but Gilgamesh in other circles. This will hopefully be my first of many showcase submissions. For my first entry into the showcase, I want to highlight some of the best games in manga I have ever read over the past 11 months. It kicked the year off with the masterclass that is Edith Finch, a game like no other. It had me consume its world in one sitting, and as I sat there, credits rolling, I had to find someone who had played this game, so I started messaging mates, and none had played it. But within the day, I had 3 different friends exploring the Finch's family history. We spent a solid week discussing the story beats. It was a good way to kick off 2018. Sometimes, the best games you play are the games you go in blind to. Edith Finch, Inside, and Dead Space are all statements of this, and I'm always happy to go in blind. My one day My only day one pickup this year came in the form of God of War, I'm assuming, so it's GOW. Not because of my love for the PS2 game, but because there is none. Not for my love of the PS2 game, because there is none. But the E3 presentation was some next level stuff right there with the orchestra. I just had to pick it up. And from the stranger fight to the credits, God of War delivered. It kept its own identity while feeling fresh and new. If I only counted games that came out in 2018 for my personal goatees rather than everything I played that year, then God of War would be the clear winner. Now for my true love, the sea of stories that is manga. 2018 has been good to me in terms of solid titles, and come late January, when I restructure my top 50, there will be a good number of new entries. Restructure my top 50.
I don't have top 50 of anything.
I know. I love that.
Top 50.
I love that. Like the one corner of the wall. You're
yes.
Just like, move that marker over. I'm not going to recommend any one specific manga this month. Instead, I'm going to advise anime lovers to give a moment to read the manga forums of some of their favorite shows. And I'm not talking about Ippo or One Piece, because 900 to 1200 plus chapters is a lot to ask. Instead, I'm looking at Trigun Maximum, Claymore, and Soul Eaters, all of which differ massively from their anime counterparts and are all under 150 chapters. I know that may seem like a big time investment, but it's more of the world you have come to know and love. Even if you don't like manga as a medium, try and put that aside for a time and give it a chance.
Wait, is Trigun a sequel?
I don't know.
Okay.
It might feel like falling in with the show all over again before I hit the word count. It might feel like falling in with the show all over again before I hit the word count. 2 questions. Jones, did you ever watch Bakano? I did not, sorry. And Kyle, if you're there, have you ever played Primal for the PS2? Love and respect, Gilgamesh. Primal.
No.
For the PS2.
Help me. Oh, no, it's got the scary guy? It's got like a purple guy on the cover? Heck no.
Scary. Because the guy's scary?
Trigun Maximum is the second half of the overall story, of which is covered in the show. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Right, is that right, Chad? Is that what Primal was? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Liz Castro. Hello, Brandon and Kyle. First, as many have already said, big ups to you for Box Peak. Everything about the episodes is so delightful and endearingly Bossman. Big ups also to Brandon for his formidable performance in No Redemption. What a powerhouse. Thank you. Anyway, these past 3 months have been insane. We bought a home in the Marin County, no less. Nice. I was promoted at work and just so much. I haven't really had a chance to game, except on my commute, I take the bus. And so I finished Pokemon Y, Omega Ruby, and Ultra Sun, and I'm currently playing through X. I tried White, but I just couldn't with the graphics. I've never really been a Game Boy girl, and the sprites are more jarring than endearing. The other really cool thing that's happened is that my students at an all-girls high school have begun a gaming club called Girls Do Gaming. And at their first meeting, there were more than 20 students. So exciting. Much love and respect for you both. And a little heart at the end there.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. It turns out Primal has a woman with a back tattoo on the cover who turns into a beast.
All right.
I'm kind of interested.
Yeah, kind of oh man, what's the War and then Death and then now Darksiders 3. Kind of Darksiders 3 vibes, I think.
She doesn't have a back tattoo, though.
Does not have a back tattoo. That's true.
Face tattoo.
It's not too late.
Girls Doing Gaming? That was 20 people?
Girls Do Gaming.
Girls Do Gaming. That's pretty cool.
More than 20 students showed up. Nice.
That's like more than, my yearbook club. That's more than a lot of clubs.
Happy gaming. Yo, allies. This is my first opportunity to be included in the community showcase. Initially, I wanted to take this opportunity to trim down an episode of my podcast to show off, but decided against it. For those who don't know, which is the vast majority of everyone, in my free time I produce a podcast called Happy Gaming, in which I write long-form game analyses and reviews heavily focused on appreciation and positivity. The mission statement that I proclaim every episode now is that Happy Gaming is a podcast dedicated to finding optimism, as well as passionately and articulately exploring our love for the medium without resorting to cynicism. Without a doubt, it was inspired by the positive feelings and explorative insights I gained from watching game trailer shows, perhaps too heavily inspired in my first episode, I might add, because I may have ripped off some final Bossman thoughts I should have credited. Deeply sorry, Kyle. Retraction incoming on my end to address that. Over the last couple months, I've been through a tough period and have not had as much time to write because I've been tackling different difficulties in my life, unemployment and depression. Needless to say, these things are not fun to go through. There were days when I had more or less reluctantly thrown my hands up and told myself that I'd done all I could for the time being. However, after filling out daily applications, getting rejection, after getting callbacks that went nowhere or interviews that didn't pan out, there was always a guarantee that I would come home at the end of the day and there would be something that would lift my spirits. the Easy Allies. I may not watch every Twitch stream or video, but the EZA podcast alone, accompanying me on bus rides and to and from disheartening encounters, has been an unwaveringly uplifting companion. Each member of the group continues to inspire me. I've never given up in the face of adversity, constantly spreading love, respect, positivity. I love you guys and everything you produce, and wanted to reach out to give my utmost gratitude now that I've found work.
Oh, hey!
Nice.
Oh, I'm glad that spun around at the end, man. Unemployment can be the worst. That can... Oh, we're not done yet. Sorry, okay.
What? Well, you can jump in, yeah.
I just want to say, like, when you've made something as influential as the final Bossman, you expect it to, like, you know, be cribbed once in a while. And so, like, I don't have any ill will to anybody who, like, you know, just takes my kind of thoughts and vibes, because
it's expected.
Yeah, it's just kind of like permeated throughout the entire stratosphere of games criticism. And so, like, really, I feel like in 10 years it'll be hard to parse, you know, what is Final Bossman, you know, because I'm basically everywhere at this point.
Whether it's the Hall of Greats entries, Jones's Final Fantasy VI video made me tear up, or the incredibly creative videos everyone works hard to produce. That
was a good video.
Oh yeah, I went for the jugular with that one.
Yeah.
I know that you've helped me through I paused before I said, and died.
Yeah. You know what you're doing.
Because that's the thing, is like, for reviews, I try not to be manipulative,
right.
You know?
Yes.
I try not to be like, ooh, I really like Red Dead, so I'm going to read this totally differently. I try to be like,
Yeah.
hey, these are the facts. These are the words that are on the paper. I'm just trying to express it. But with that one, it's like, no.
No. Okay, all right.
Oh boy. Or the incredibly creative videos everyone works hard to produce. Know that you've helped me through a very difficult time in my life by bringing up my spirits and making me feel included in something special with a group of people I find very special and have for many years of my life. I've become a $10 patron for now. In the future, I would like to become a full podcast sponsor and talk about my own expanding one-man podcast. Until then, I wanted to send my deepest gratitude and thank every ally for all that they do. Thank you for sharing your positivity, your enthusiasm, and helping me to overcome obstacles with a smile. Love and respect, Brian from Happy Gaming.
Nice, Brian.
Feels good.
Yeah. Congrats on pulling through that.
Yeah. And congrats on sticking to your podcast, man. Just keep pumping those out. Megan Leinart. Hey guys, since October was clearly all about Red Dead, I figured it was the best time to talk about this movie. I just checked it out for the first time, and it's really worth talking about because it's one of the best and saddest movies I've ever seen, and that movie is Brokeback Mountain, directed by Ang Lee. I forget Ang Lee did that. In case you haven't seen it, it depicts the complex emotional and sexual relationship between two cowboys, Ennis Del Mar and Jack Twist, in the American West from 1963 to 1983. I went into this not knowing what to expect. I knew what it was about, but I had no idea the film would be as sad and complex as it is. The acting both by Gyllenhaal and Ledger is some of the best I've ever seen. Ledger brings such a deep and emotional performance that is so subtle and heartbreaking to watch. You can feel his character's pain and complexity in his held-back, quiet acting. It truly is incredible. While Gyllenhaal has more of a charismatic and emotive approach, which is equally great. The story is absolutely gut-wrenching, and it wasn't focused on them being gay or labeling them as such. It was just about two people falling in love and their tragic story. It was heartbreaking seeing them tortured by their own relationship. They couldn't stop seeing each other, but it hurt them just as much when they were together, and how it went on for so long throughout the film. You just see them fall apart. At the end, Ledger's character realizes he will never find love with anyone else ever again. However, it's too late. His character ends up alone for the rest of his life and without the one person he truly loved. Seeing both sides on how the affair affected him and the people around them truly made it such a powerful film. I love the sensitivity this movie has and how the movie doesn't go out of its way to label them. It just explores their relationship and its deep characters without being heavy-handed. The score and the cinematography are both equally stunning as well. Ledger and Gyllenhaal had such powerful chemistry, and I'll remember their performances for the rest of my life. I will remember this film for the rest of my life. It truly was one of my favorites, and I really encourage people to have an open mind and give it a chance, but be prepared to be pretty depressed after the credits roll, and bring the tissues. That's all I have for you this month. Congrats on Box Peak, Kyle. You should be so proud. I've been showing it to all my friends and family. Lots of moms getting in on Box Peak.
Bring them in.
Mom, it's time we had the conversation.
It's a mom show.
It's a mom show. There really is a great bunch. I do have to say something about Box Peak now that you're here.
Okay.
That's so fascinating that, like, I read the script, Amanda read the script, we talked about the script, we knew we were going to be husband-wife in one scene.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, seeing that scene happen, man, and I think, like, my favorite line so far of, like, everything that I've read is, all the tuna? Like, which, like, on a script, it's like, okay, it's kind of funny, but, like, when you see it in the edit, man, like, all the tuna?
Yes.
RB. Hello, Jones and Bosman. Longtime patron, but never posted in Community Comments Showcase before. After seeing the comment about Final Fantasy 15 last month and the special Final Fantasy 15 program tonight, I felt the urge to chime in.
Oh, no. When was this written?
Here we go.
Okay.
Looking forward to talking about that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Out of all the Final Fantasy games, it's my personal favorite, but what elevated it to being one of my favorite games of all time comes down to one thing: my mother. We've always been close. When she was diagnosed with cancer, we became closer than ever. I tried to be around her more and brought my PS4 over so that we could technically watch movies together. Then she saw me play a little bit of Final Fantasy 15 and said, "Can I try?" By the end of the first hour, we were in tears at the hilarity of her trying to figure out how the camera and controls worked, and she just didn't want to stop. Even when she was eventually hospitalized, I brought my PS4 in so we could finish the journey together. We had the time of our lives fishing, messing around on chocobos, doing all the dumb quests, working through the skill tree, and camping every 5 seconds. Most importantly, however, was the dynamic the boys had. Whenever any of them started talking, she would literally slow Noctis down to be closer to them. She'd even reply to the conversations going on. When any of them got hurt, she was legitimately distressed. Little Prompto was her absolute favorite. She couldn't say no to any of his requests and was obsessed with protecting him in battle, and was also obsessed with all of Prompto's photography. She even had me save the photos so that she could send them to her friends. In her own words, she loved her boys. Their journey reminded her of the trip she took with her friends after graduating high school. This is why, in getting to the end, spoilers, whoa. Yeah, do we want to, like, put your hand up for this one? That was a pretty big one. Put your hand up, Kyle.
It's an old game.
All right, fine. With Noctis sacrificing himself, it devastated her. I could see her getting teary when Stand By Me started playing alongside all the photos from the journey, and when it showed that final camping scene of the group with Noctis telling them he loves them, that was the first time in my life I had ever seen my mom cry.
Yeah, dude, that scene.
She hugged me, and all she could say was, "I didn't know a game could be like this." I can't even express what this experience meant for us. I never thought I'd be able to share a game with my mother, and I never thought it would feel like this. She's moved on to more games, Yakuza currently, and being able to enjoy them together means the world to me. I loved Final Fantasy 15, I loved Final Fantasy 15 before, but for what it means now for my mother and I, it simply holds an even more special place in my heart. Love you, Mom. Thanks for always standing by me. Cheers. So happy that this beautiful sentiment did not end in can't wait for the DLC.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really great, and I think one of the comments I really treasure when we get these things about, like, you know, discovering a new game that you didn't know, returning to a game, finding a friend, especially games. We get a lot of comments from people that had games from their youth that they enjoyed, like Halo Combat Evolved. I've moved apart from my old roommate Nathan, but like whenever I think of Halo Combat Evolved, I'll always think of him because we co-opted the entire game together.
Heck yeah.
And like, I just don't have a, you know, like I'll play Overcooked with Amanda and stuff, but just like like those type of like action games, shooters, long campaigns, just not something Amanda's interested in, and so it's like I don't know if I'll ever get back to that. Even just that day one Destiny rush that like we did with Huber, like
I don't think
so great.
Oh, that was really fun. I don't think you like the DLC getting canceled. It's just as you said, Jones. It doesn't ruin one of those memories. In fact, one of them was billed Jones as, but what if Noctis didn't sacrifice himself? And so it's just like, I don't like, you know, just like, what if it's a happy ending? And so it's like, I'm almost happy that DLC will never exist. And you know what's crazy is he doesn't say out loud, he doesn't say, I love you guys. He says, you guys are, he searches for words, and the only one he can come up with is just the best. It's like, I really, really love that scene. It's the last thing you see. And it might be post-credits even. 15, I love that. You know, it's like, it's an emotional appeal of 15. I totally get it. You know what I mean? Like 15, like it gets a bunch of hate. Don't like it. Don't like the hate.
I wasn't originally attracted to those four guys. I think that's like so key. What everybody says, like I could talk about tons of complaints with Final Fantasy 15, and like I just didn't naturally have an attraction to spending time with that crew. But I'm sure if I was forced to play Final Fantasy 15, by the end of that, I'll be like, God, I love these people. Even just the time that I played with it, Prompto's a gem. Ian Alexander with the final sole comment, and then we'll be getting into the medias following this. Ian Alexander, hello from Taiwan. Box Peak is awesome. I was so excited by the reception to my crazy, noisy, Bizarre Town Fiasco playset that I started working on a sequel. I actually had about 10 people asking me to email the original to them, which was pretty exciting for me. I figured I could talk a little bit about the creation process here. When writing a Fiasco playset, this is great, I love this, I found it was actually a lot more difficult than I expected.
Yeah.
There were a lot of times when I felt something was redundant or boring, but was not sure what would be a better option. I discovered that thinking about the sections a little differently helped. For relationships, I considered them as factions. These would be a separate groups of characters who had their own goals within the time frame of the Fiasco. Once I got to the needs section, I thought of these as goals or mission objectives for each faction. Locations and objects were also related to these factions as places they would be and tools they would use. So for instance, I had a gang faction with different members who were trying to take over the town, sell drugs, and some members who wanted to overthrow their boss. The relationships, needs, objects, and locations were all possible storylines that I could imagine. This ensures that there is at least one idea for how these things can work together. Of course, with the use of the dice and player selection, it's unlikely for them to be used this way specifically. For example, the whole gang category went unused, but that's fine. The scariest part was trying to figure out how to do the abilities. I was really worried that it would be too much to deal with by adding extra rules, so I wanted to keep it simple. At the same time, this was the JoJo-inspired playsets. That's why what he means by abilities. We all had powers.
Yep.
At the same time, I felt I needed to follow the pattern of Fiasco by randomly limiting the abilities to suggestions on a list and also combining multiple choices to define a single character.
I think that was a super fun aspect.
Thinking about the stands of JoJo, I realized that the form of the stand and what it could do were often not directly related, so I would be able to separate them into lists of powers and manifestations. When adding to the list, I would try to imagine if it might work with all the other random elements on the other side. In the end, I think it was a big success. With the amazing performance by Brandon, Kyle, Ben, and Ian, it was able to truly capture the essence of a JoJo storyline. Thanks for reading my comment, and I hope everyone is enjoying JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, the Golden Wind anime that is currently airing. Great to hear not only like a behind-the-scenes thing on what it's like to create a Fiasco. I've always been tempted to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would love that. But it's a lot of work, man. He just said it's tough and... Oh, come on.
Do you know how much people would love that, though?
I know, it'd be great. But
now
it's
that you brought it up, you can't not do it.
I think one of the main reasons why is I'm not 100% sold on a concept. It's not like, oh, I gotta do that.
I know you have 5 concepts.
You know what I mean?
I know, because you have 5 that you think are pretty good ideas right now. Do you not have 5?
I got a couple.
Ugh. Just pick one and go for it.
All right. I just want to say before we move on to the other media, because we're already... what do we got? More than an hour into the showcase. Mm-hmm. It feels like there's a lot of emotion in the showcase so far. It seems like a lot of people are being very forthcoming about, not only how Easy Allies has affected them, but just a lot of personal stories. And I don't want to rush through this too fast and not say how much I appreciate your openness as a community for letting us know about these stories, because these are very personal, and giving us the opportunity to read them and tell the rest of the community about them and sharing them with us. I bet there's got to be a little bit of fear there. Oh, here comes my comments. Like, these people are going to learn something about me.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's going to be, and they might be extremely comfortable for people to do that because they regularly talk to people in chat. They're regularly like in the Discord or in our forums or in YouTube comments, and so they know people in the community. They know it will be well received. Sackle knows he can just sling arrows all over the place, and we expect it. But some of these comments are very brave, and I just want to say kudos to you and thank you for submitting them.
Yeah.
And with that said, we're gonna shrink. Here we go. We've shrunk, and it is time. Oh, actually, no, we're gonna do. Yeah, let's do this one. It's time to talk about. Oh no! I gotta switch this out. Chat.
Chat, do you
Go
see
away,
yourselves?
Chat. Go away, chat.
Chat.
All right.
Matt B, good time to sub. You were immortalized. Thanks also to all the subs who sub while we do this.
Oh, I restarted the computer. That's what I did. Okay, sorry.
I don't think we even have...
Cover, Kyle, cover.
I don't think we have notifications on even. So truly, everybody who subs and resubs during this stream, you're just doing it out of the kindness of your heart, not for the attention. A lot of people just sub for the attention. They just sub for the look.
Right.
I think that's probably like 75% of the resubs that we get. Generally not even people who like us or watch us. They just kind of like tune in, click the button, get their attention, they go home. So we get with a lot of those things. So I do appreciate anyone who's like, when notifications are off, are willing to resub or sub. Arc service, that's me. Yeah, if you are just joining us, I realize this could be a confusing thing. Oh yeah, we got notifications on. You're totally right, Jones.
Can you give me the name under website? What's that name?
Jack Graves. If you're just joining us, we're doing our community showcase. This happens once a month. The Easy Allies Patreon community replies to a post by Jones. In the comments, they submit comments, videos, songs, art, all sorts of media. And we have finished the comment section, and we're now transitioning into the media section. And so you never know what you're about to see when we hop into this part of the show, the program. So yeah, I expect we might go like another hour, Jones.
Sure.
Yeah, like we probably have another hour of cool stuff ahead. 5 p.m.
All right. Okay. Here we go. This is from Jack.
Okay.
And you can read. You got the camera right there. You can read.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you give it a read for once?
I wrote this Lovecraft-inspired novel that's up on Inkshares. Would love if people checked it out. So what is Inkshares?
Inkshares sounds fascinating. It's kind of like a crowdfunding. It's something that I'm tempted to do with a couple things I've been working on, which is basically like you publish through the site. It's
well,
like,
then do it.
I wrote this thing, and then you go buy it, and then you. Like however many people buy it, they then get it. It's kind of like a lot of people. It's like Ian with swords. Like I don't need you to give me money to invent this game. We already made it. I just need to print it, and send it to people. Have the money to do that. So
what do you have done? Because Jones, here's the other thing.
I had my card game. I made this card game.
Yes.
And so we've been thinking about like, what if we just actually just publish the cards and just like
on
you
Inkshare.
can just buy the actual cards.
Yeah.
And play it that way. Or we have a lot of really amazing art, like dozens and dozens of pieces of art, like just make an art book and then just release that.
Because I
don't have time, bro.
I think that's the other purpose. I think that's the other purpose of community showcase is to creatively encourage each other. Do you know what I mean? It's
right.
like, it's a big creative encouragement.
It's not encouragement. I'm stressing me out, man. And I can't believe with all the stress that you've been under for Box Peak, when I say I have this project on the side that I don't have time for, and you're like, why don't you do it?
Because
like,
that's
why
I'm trying to I'm trying to creatively encourage you, Jones.
I appreciate that.
Just as we're trying to creatively encourage Jack Graves.
Right. You can encourage me by saying people would like that.
Can you actually make it a little big? I can't I don't know if everybody at home can read it, Can we make the Eldritch Craft is what I can read?
I don't have a keyboard in front of me.
Got you. Okay.
But you can go to you can go to Inkshares and look up. And again, for everybody, as we're going into media specifically, if you want to review this media, a lot of people will post something specifically, but they'll say like, hey, and here's my site if you want to just go see the other work that I've done or something.
That's cool.
And not necessarily for the showcase. Patreon.com/EasyAllies. You can check out the post for the November Community Showcase submissions. It is now public for everybody. You can go and check out all of this stuff if you want to download it or get high-res versions of this stuff. Because, there's a lot going on screen, so sometimes we can vanish behind it. Zephyr Moon, greeting Jones and Kyle. Zephyr Moon here, Inktober has come and gone, and I thought to share some of my favorites. Bonus for Kyle. So we got a bonus one for you. A bonus for you.
Do you have a limit on how much art you can submit?
Anyways, I think when we get more than 10 pieces of something, generally if somebody...
Up to 10?
If somebody gives me a bunch of stuff, because people do photographs.
I allow one.
Well, that's nice for you.
Okay, all right. That's wild, man. Up to 10. We're about to look at 10 right now.
We're looking at 5.
Okay, all right.
There's only Samo Rosman likes to send me lots of pictures, so we do have 9 photographs from Samo. Maybe 9.
All right.
The single-digit numbers.
All right.
Is the most we can do. But boop, here's the first one. Anyways, thank you so much, Kyle, for Box Peak. You've actually inspired me to pursue an old idea and turn it into webcomics. So there you go.
Creatively inspiring each other.
Right,
yes.
there it is. In practice. It's been a while since I felt excited to create a story, and even more for when I eventually share it with the world and the hard work that goes into creating a unique world. Thank you again, Kyle. Much love and respect, Zephyr Moon. So here we go. That is that the character from Dragon Quest?
Yeah.
Looks like him.
Different hair color, though, right?
Yeah, thrown off by the hair color.
Cool.
Yes, baby. Yes,
that's
baby.
So cool. That's a really good cape.
How awesome is that?
What's the medium here? It looks like etching to me. It looks like so small detail. Is it paint?
Yeah, it's probably pink. Kind of looks like crayon almost. I love the texture.
Yeah.
And I love I just love the boldness of the colors. But obviously my favorite, that one right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
Which is topical. The game has been re-released. The World Ends With You.
Markers and colored pencils, says Zephyr Moon.
Just those blues, man. Love it.
That's colored pencil? That's so good.
I don't know.
This is
yeah.
really cool.
So I love like how solid the blue is of the actual wisps like around his neck,
Mm-hmm.
and I love just how scattered like it is around him. I just love like same color but just a different application of it.
Yeah.
And then here's your bonus one, Kyle. Here you go. Bonus for Kyle.
Oh, yeah. This was on Twitter, yeah. Because we requested it. Do you remember this? I think it was in a Q&A. Zephyr Moon's like,
right.
on
Was looking
Inktober,
for- yeah.
I need recommendations, and I said, draw 2 Gundams. I kind of think you cheated. I think it's a little too small. I think you're being a little cute, and just like, I don't want to draw a whole Gundam, I'm just going to make it small.
They're battling. They're about to face each other.
And we get
Into
the back. Is this turn A
in
Gundam?
the darkness of space.
But now, like, I know, like, I saw your Batman one. I know you can draw fully figured people.
Yeah,
I kind of think you cheated on this
Perspective.
one. All right. Wow. Zephyr Moon admits, I did cheat, no shame.
Kyle, you get so many passes. I can't even take it anymore on the amount of passes that you get.
Because I know, I'll call it a cheater when you cheat.
Right.
I did cheat, no shame.
I think I might have put this under photos. You under
Cool
there,
pick for
Jackson?
turn A, though. I like turn A Gundam a lot. If that's what that was.
Oh, come on. I thought I put these in.
Uh-oh.
David Clellan, did they go? Oh, yeah, there he is. It's just messed up the alphabet there. Boom.
Oh.
Hey, allies, now that Halloween is come and gone, it's time to show a taste of what I've been working on this month in the art world. First is a mask that I binge crafted over 2 days for a Halloween show I was in, where I performed no less than 7 different characters across 2 hours. So obviously, that's from Hellraiser. And, no, I'm kidding.
That's my kind of bit, man. I like that. I'm sorry, what? Well, you performed them in what?
In less than 7 different characters across 2 hours in a Halloween show.
Oh, so is that like a stage show, or is that
Yeah.
like people come and get creeped out?
I don't know.
Okay.
Both, maybe a
Halloween
little bit.
show, yeah, it's interesting.
Second is a follow-up to the Joker sculpt from last month, yet to be fired and painted. I'll do that next month. Love this. Love how pissed he is.
Oh man, that's freaky face.
I love his giant lips. I love just unhappy Batman. I don't know why. And like having a sculpture, having something framed, if like frozen in time, that's just him like, no.
Jax on Deck confirms it was on a stage in a bar.
Cool.
Yeah.
Batman, very disappointed. And finally, a little guest fan art, as is now tradition. Boop.
You know what's funny is when I do fan art, I will not allow any submissions that are about me. Community showcase. Go nuts.
Yeah.
Doors are wide open.
As always, you can follow my growing collection of sculpture, drawing, and juggling videos on my Instagram, jax.on.deck. Jones art and box peak art coming soon. The Jones art, oh boy.
Yeah.
Excited for that. Here you go.
Is that Comic Sans?
A flattering portrait if I've ever seen one of you,
Yeah.
Kyle. Tyson win. There we go. We got 2 wins this time, so we got to make sure we get the right one.
Yes. Yes.
Boom.
Yes.
Kyle and I can resonate with that. Hello, Brandon and Kyle. Congrats on the launch of Box Peak. I'm always stoked to listen to the Q&A and see the behind-the-scenes production for each episode. Hearing about the work you put into the show has helped me motivate to continue working on my own creative projects.
Creative encouragement.
I've also greatly enjoyed both of your parts of the No Redemption musical, and I'm always a fan of more musicals. For my submission this month, I wanted to do something that included Jones, since in the past I've usually focused on the guests of each showcase. So I decided to make a tribute to Brandon Plays Pokemon, as it includes both of you.
Look how much cooler your team is than mine.
That's right.
You had a Raichu? We both had Raichus, that's right.
Yeah. I'm relating to that workload myself, as for the past 2 months I've been spending all my spare time working on a small animated short for Christmas. I'm hoping to have it finished at the start of December, so in the next month's showcase, so in time for next month's showcase. But in the meantime, I thought you might be interested in seeing a few behind-the-scenes images. So we've got... Oh, no, whoa, I'm sorry. I drifted to another comment.
Oh, this
No.
again.
Sorry, I don't know we're doing that.
Because I'm imagining this being like an animated movie now.
I had to take some creative liberties with Kyle's team, since it turns out Pokemon are a lot smaller in the Pokemon universe than I would think, at least according to the Pokedex.
That's a big old muck.
And for a second piece, people seem to like the idea of a Box Peak game. So I decided to make a mock-up with Game Boy aesthetics.
Tyson, don't do this for them.
Take care, everyone.
Don't do this for them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so sick, though. That's actually
Side scroller. The top right image, I think, is the most fascinating.
Yeah.
It's not top down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that a lot. And then lower right's like your inventory. It's like what you put in there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And actually, I kind of like the visuals. I like the black box, so you don't really know what they're doing, but you can see yourself. You know what? I mean, that's a pretty good representation of what it could look like. Absolutely. Huh.
He's just sitting there in the box.
Tyson's just real good at this
the
stuff.
peak ref and all the people cheering in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't quite see what's in the inventory. I can't quite read it. Oh, I see decal. Like, you can put a decal on your box. That's cool.
That's what you sound like, CD. You could put a decal on your box.
You can put a decal on your box. Sick. Really, really sick. That's so cool.
They were both talking about box speak, so that's why I got confused. But I'll leave that up while we're still talking about box speak.
Oh, the hinge. I see. So there is that like a...
You grease the hinge?
You got to grease the hinge? Cool.
Hi, Brandon and Kyle. This is from David Cleland, who built that Lego set back there. Firstly, I just wanted to congratulate Kyle on box speak. The timing and expressions are great, and it is well worth the amount of effort you put in. I'm relating to that workload myself for the past 2 months, and I've been spending all my time working on a small animated short for Christmas. I'm hoping to have it finished at the start of December, so in time for next month's showcase. But in the meantime, I thought you might be interested in seeing a few behind-the-scenes images. So, we've got one, the wireframe. So you got this little dude.
You know what? Take him out. I don't like this guy.
You don't like this guy?
No.
Well, what? Now he looks a little bit better.
Okay.
Now, you know, he's getting.
No, is it like is it a baby man?
Is that not a baby man?
Oh, okay. All right.
He's about to get much older.
Okay. All right.
So 1, character wireframe. 2, character rig. 3, hair and expression test render. So here you go.
Okay. All right. You're right. Much improved. You got to see him on each stage, I guess.
Yeah.
Go back to number 1.
But I love it coming together.
Yeah. Yeah. No on number 1. Okay. All right. We're getting somewhere.
It's like a Cabbage Patch Kid if he just never got bigger.
Well, it's Santa Claus, right? Like, this is Santa Claus?
I'm guessing, yeah.
But it looked
Maybe
like a big
gnome?
baby man.
Could be a gnome. I don't know.
All right.
He looks really concerned.
Yeah.
He's not really sure how this whole thing's working out. And finally, the broken sleigh.
Oh, so it's a baby man
damaged sleigh model. And since it was just Halloween, and I know you love a puppet, number 5, my Snape Nagini costume.
Ooh.
Yeah. Really clever.
Nagini's the woman, right?
Nagini is, well, now, yeah. Yeah, nice.
Wait, is it the one hand's fake and you control the snake with the other hand?
Oh, it is.
That's really cool.
Oh, I didn't even notice that when oh, dude, points.
That's a cool costume.
Yeah, we got a sub for that one.
Yeah.
Really amazing. Yeah, so hopefully we'll be back, be able to check back in next month when with the finished thing. Until then, all the love and respect. David Cleland. P.S. Banana's my favorite milkshake.
Well.
So there you go.
Poor choice.
But I also want to point out just Cleland's making Lego sets, Cleland's rendering in 3D, Cleland's making killer costumes.
And like it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell it's a fake hand.
Yeah, I did not know that when I first busted that out. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, kudos for doing that. Okay, we want Chumnuan, not Tyson win. Yes. Okay. Bam.
Sick.
Chumnuan, hi Brandon and Kyle. I haven't submitted anything for a while, so I just had an itch after sketching one a few days ago, so I decided what to draw for a day and came up with 6 total. Since I haven't drawn for a long time, they can look weird, also not bothering them being anatomically correct. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming soon to celebrate the return of the Blue Bomber, and for just being weird, I drew the first part. Well, the second part was for the iconic female fighter not being in Smash Ultimate. Winter is coming to celebrate my first and only Platinum trophy. Also want to shout out for Valkyria Chronicles 4 being for an enjoyable sequel to play, and Astro being a cute little game. Love and respect, Tearju Engi.
I like your eyes. Good eyes here, Tearju.
So there we go, yep. Yeah. He's excited. Yeah. So what is that?
This one needs to be explained to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
What comes after Blue Bomber? I thought next one was Iconic Woman who didn't make it into Smash.
Celebrate the return of the Blue Bomber. I do the first part. Well, the second was for the iconic female fighter not being in Smash Ultimate.
Okay.
I might have the order mixed up.
I think it might just be a guy.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So Chun-Li's not in Smash Ultimate? There you go.
That's a really good drawing.
Yeah. And she's not happy.
I love that expression.
And yeah, I don't know who that is. I love the next one is, you can definitely tell. But I don't know. Guesses?
Shenmue?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, you know those two the people.
What's it say? Umbrella Corporation, and then there's a candy bar.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, those are sick.
Yes, candy bar confirmed. Thank you, Chum. Good stuff. Teague. Hello, Brandon and Kyle. Didn't have much art of my own I could share this month, so instead I figured I would shout out two awesome folks and fellow artists I've met via the EZA community, Scott Ford and Ray Luaza. Ray Luaza is getting some love.
Isn't it Ray Luaza like Rayquaza?
Ray Luaza?
I thought it's a Rayquaza reference this whole time.
Oh.
It could be Ray Luaza. That could just be somebody's name.
Yeah.
We'll determine it now.
It's been great finding other artists who love illustration as I do, and also great the work you guys do at EZA. Take care. So, Teague, with the tribute.
It is a Rayquaza reference, Jones.
Oh, cool. So, Ray Luaza.
Ray Luaza.
Ray Luaza.
Rayquaza, Ray Luaza. It's hard to say for sure out loud.
There we go. There's Teague. Boom. So these are two pieces of art. I'm assuming Scott Ford and Ray Luaza on the right there. Yeah, you can see Ray credited at the bottom. So that is Bloodborne on the left and Majora's Mask on the right. And just wonderful pieces from wonderful artists.
Those are really good pieces.
Yeah. And very different. It's kind of fun to have a character in kind of a more... I would love that t-shirt and the Bloodborne on it.
And hands. We're just going to let him stay this size, and that's we got to move on. I guess that's your show, man. I get it. All right. We have the mouse right here. We can make it big.
I can't make it bigger with the...
I can make it bigger with the mouse right now.
Make it bigger,
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Oh.
Because watch, you can't... You can make this bigger, but...
Oh, that's all I wanted, man. Yeah, that's good.
That's one from Scott.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Most excellent. Okay, thanks, Jones.
The touchiest showcase guest by a mile. Whew. All right. Wonderful art. Time to move on to some fun photographs. Well, first from Pokey Clyde. I thought I would share my Halloween costume. I achieved a goal I've been looking forward to achieve since kindergarten, and this Halloween I finally did it. Guesses on what that goal was, Kyle?
Some sort of robotic suit.
Robotic suit. Okay.
Yes.
You're wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good Spidey costume.
And it looks pretty custom. I'm actually curious if interesting taking the photo without the mask. I wonder if he just didn't bother.
And like, what if it's like I'm finally got to be a woodland girl?
Yeah.
It's like...
I think it's Poison Ivy probably, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. Poison Ivy needs green skin.
Poison Ivy's fun because there are 8 billion ways you can do Poison Ivy. Like you can really...
True,
I've never seen a Poison Ivy outfit and been like, that version of her. Like you can really just kind of... You can really kind of do whatever you want.
Do we go on about how you got that costume?
No, that's it.
It's pretty authentic, a pretty good one.
Yeah. I think that's like the movie one, right? That's Homecoming?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is my favorite suit from the game. That's the one I typically played.
Dude, it's a good one.
It's a good one. Tim Beshin, these are my 2 favorite shots from my journey. Thank you for taking this trip down memory lane with me the last year, but I think this is it for now with the pictures. But I still have a few fun stories to share in future episodes, but this is it for now. I had a blast sharing this with you. Thank you. Love and respect. Tim traveled the world, went to a lot of Asian countries, took photographs with an Easy Ally shirt in many of those countries.
Cool.
And it's been really great to follow the journey and to see this beautiful part of the world. And it's just been neat to having the showcase be month after month after month and getting... feels like we're traveling with him at the same time. Obviously, this trip has been over for quite a while.
What do the bars say?
I don't know. I wonder.
Because it looks like it says the same thing on the right. Well, no, it does change a little bit.
Yeah.
But like on the left is clearly new words every time.
And it seems like a desktop wallpaper or something. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, that's a nice photo.
So much going on there.
Their years and dates. Thanks, chat. Very interesting.
Cool. Oh, chat saving us. Love it.
Lazy Bones popping in. Yes.
So, Tim, thank you so much. Thank you for bringing us along with you. And thank you for going on the journey with you. It's been really, really great. This is it. Are you ready, Kyle?
Yeah.
We made it.
Okay.
We did it. Thanks to Brody Stern. Hey, Jones. Hey, Kyle.
Hi.
My submission this month is a piece of art. Not done by me, but rather done on me.
Yo.
I got this tattoo done back in August, but held off submitting it for the showcase until I knew Kyle was going to be on, since this concept evolved out of his weird but brilliant context for a podcast segment. Referencing the Red Eagles, the first champions of love and respect, is a constant reminder to stay positive and be happy while allowing others to do the same, however they may choose. In a world plagued by greed, hate, ignorance, and intolerance, this message is absolutely vital. So, to the 9 people who feel like friends despite never having met any of you, thank you. Love and respect. Also, to give credit where credit is due, the artist was Kaylee Winterburn, Old School Tattoo and Piercing, Bellingham, Washington.
Yeah, it is a cool old school tattoo. It really is. And you know what?
I originally saw it and I was like, oh, maybe they added love and respect to this tattoo they had earlier, but I could see the inflammation around it. It looked like that was that all of this was done at the same time. And then I saw the Eagles and I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Like, no way. And then read the comment like, no way. Like, that, to me, all of you are wonderful. All of these submissions are great. It's not like necessarily the submission that I really want to call attention to, but just like, that is just some crazy commitment.
Yeah.
And Amanda and I've had this conversation a lot. It's like, if you were to get a tattoo, what would you get? She loves Harry Potter. I love Batman. She'd probably do like the bolt or the glasses or always or something, you know. And I would just do like a fun signal, not like the traditional signal, but just like a weird one, you know. Like, it'd be fun to like have a tattoo artist and be like, bat signal, go, whatever. Like, doesn't need to be any particular one. Like, just whatever you feel, you know. Because like when I was in high school, I would just doodle bat signals everywhere. But like I've seen like Gears in particular. I've seen so many Gears tattoos over the years. You know, like sent to Ferguson and sent to the team. And every time I see one, I'm always like, wow, what a compliment! Like what a tremendous gesture. What you know, there's so much meaning in that, and that means a lot to us. And obviously means a lot to you, and that just.
It's a good tattoo. I like
get emotional in here.
I see some tattoos that are like a little too intricate with their lines. This one's got some big bold lines, big colors, where as you age, it won't get ugly. So that one's built to last. That's a cool tattoo. And for the record, we did learn that bald eagles go.
Yeah.
But red eagles still say caw.
That's true.
For sure.
I did skip Enderglow. I have Enderglow locked and loaded. I maybe just didn't put the comment in. Yeah, I'm a dummy. Let's do Enderglow.
Okay.
I'll turn on Salad Mike.
Who else got missed?
I don't know. We'll find out later, man. Art. What's going on?
You do give Jones a lot of art. This is like 3 hours of prep.
Okay. So I have the art loaded. I just didn't actually copy over the comment.
Oh, okay.
But thank you for keeping us honest, everybody. And you can hear me, right? Okay. Hey, Brandon and Kyle. This is my first time submitting, and I'm quite nervous. This also, when we moved to the studio, I'm debating doing the showcase like this.
Audio only?
No, where the person's being grilled. Like, it's just super close up on the guest.
Oh, sure.
I'm just like back here in the controls.
All right.
So that I can like change things or something. I don't know. Maybe the show can evolve. This is my first time submitting, and I'm quite nervous. Sorry that we completely brushed past the comment. So I have some art, and hopefully it's not too bad. I wanted to share my most recent Box Peak art, since it's the first piece I've done that's influenced by one of the new episodes. The second is a piece I did a while ago when I did something I wanted to do for a very long time, which is paint with Bob Ross. It's a little funky since it wasn't done with traditional paint and stuff, but I think it still came out really nice. I hope you both have a lovely day. Congrats on Season 1 premiere of Box Peak, Kyle. Love, Casey, a.k.a. Enderglow. And if we go back to art... Where are they?
Just be clear, chat. This is the last of the art category. Jones
Correct.
isn't done with the entire presentation yet.
Yeah.
CD is my best friend. You would make a custom T-shirt just for me? Nobody's ever done anything like that for me before. I like the golden box. Yeah, I had seen this one on Twitter.
Everybody's saying.
I try to retweet all Box Peak fan art. It's just like, yeah, that's a free retweet. Come get it.
Try sounds like you failed at points. That someone made Box Peak art and then just it was lost in the wind.
There was one that was made by a child and include like the child's thoughts and things, and I like don't want to expose a child, you know, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's a solid excuse.
Casey/Underglow, I presume you're not a child. Whoa, that's your first painting?
You met Casey.
Yeah, but like is that what was described as the oh yeah. I was making a joke. Was this presumed? Was this the first painting?
This is Bob Ross. This is when They're watching Bob Ross, and so this wasn't
Bob
done with
Ross
traditional paint.
Showed you how to make this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still sick.
I'm way into that. I want to jump right into there. I love it.
Some nice colors.
Really, really, really good use of colors. And because I can't do this at all. And so I love when there's an image that obviously there's just tons of different color going on in here, but obviously that deep red pink, it's the theme, it's popping up everywhere. And I love a piece of art that has a lot going on, but has a very core color theme. Mm-hmm. And beautiful. Again, prepped the art, didn't prep the paragraph. Apologies for potentially skipping past that. All right. And we got Brody. Moving on to Samo. Aloha, Brandon and Kyle. Or Lep Pozdrav in Slovene.
Lep Pozdrav.
Lep Pozdrav. I was working on something for this month, but I recently got sick with the nasty flu. Everyone is sick. Everyone is sick. Everyone I know is sick.
We're all sick.
Except for me. And I don't know. Amanda is inconsolable. Amanda, got sick and then got a little bit better and then boom. Yesterday, she even felt worse when she got up this morning.
Yeah.
And just all these people are sniffling and coughing around me, and I'm terrified.
You're a healthy man, dude.
I don't get sleep. I'm horrible. I eat junk food all the time.
You exercise, though. It's all about that exercise.
I do. So I'm placing that submission on hold until I get some more time to finish it up. In its lieu, I wanted to share pictures from my last 2 trips back to Slovenia, the birthplace of both my parents. Pretty much every year from my birth until I was 14, my family flew from where we lived in the U.S., either Colorado for 2 years or Hawaii, back to Europe to visit family and friends where I spent most of the summer. Let me get at least one of these babies up while I'm talking about it, so you can
at least one of these
babies right there going along that river. Go nice and slow. Look at the buildings.
What's our boat look like?
I don't know. Well, maybe we'll see some boats. From age 14 to 18, we lived there full time while I went to an international baccalaureate high school, and since then I've gone back every few years for extended stays. A lot of times I really miss being there, as it is absolutely my second home and can be quite tough having your only family almost 180 degrees around the world. Interesting way of looking at it. The 12-hour time difference does make it easy when you're converting times, though. I plan on visiting again next spring, and I can't wait. Please enjoy the pictures and pick the ones that spark your interest the most. Please use the descriptions below if a photo is unclear or if you wish for more context. Have an amazing November. Love and respect, Samo Rosman. Because there are so many photographs, we're just going to look at some beautiful locations. If you would like said context, if you would like all of the photographs, you can go to the link. Obviously, as we said a couple times, patreon.com/EasyAllies, the community showcase for November. But we'll just take a little journey down this lake here. Yeah. This little river that runs through this town. Wouldn't you want to live in a town that has a quaint little river like that?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live next to it, though.
You want to live next to it, so you could.
No, I do. I don't want to live next to it.
You want to live in it, not next to it. What's the problem with next to it?
I'm cool with I'm on my walk and I see that. I'm not cool with my cat looking out the window at that river.
It's too cool.
It's just my feeling. It's just how I feel about it. I can't explain that. This is a really nice town.
Yeah, it reminds me of Germany a little bit. There's I can't remember what city Mozart was born in. Might have been Beethoven. Can't remember. I think it's Mozart.
It's like a castle on the hill.
Yeah, love me a castle on the hill. Yeah, just love it. Just want to get a little canoe.
I'm actually thinking we're on a bridge every time we see a shot from the middle.
Probably. And now we're probably closer to that castle. But I love
Sorry,
streets like this.
What's the city? What's the city called?
We are in. Just Slovenia.
Okay.
Doesn't specifically say the city.
All right.
Mentions the high school, but not specifically the city.
Okay. This is a nice looking city, man. That looks so cool.
Yeah. Love that pretty building. And then as you get into the later, I grabbed a bunch of pictures right off the bat, and then later you get into the more forest areas and some fun natural environments. But it's just neat seeing that city from that view. And then, lots more of this. It's great farming country and a lot of stuff that actually resonated because there's a lot of areas like this in Red Dead.
I've seen this plenty of times. Next.
Oh, that's it. That's it from Samo.
All right.
So, next.
I really, really love that. Just that huge city and there's no cars in the street, right? It's just people walking around. That's so cool.
Let me see if I put Sebastian in here. Where did I put Sebastian? Oh dear. Yeah, I put him into art.
Sebastian.
I'm gonna look for Sebastian Hall. You read that.
Okay. Hi, Brandon and Kyle Peak. I missed to comment last month as I
we
was
go.
incredibly busy with work. This month, unfortunately, I won't talk about Star Citizen. Oh, just teasing. Instead, I want to bring attention to another game that I love, Zone of the Enders 2 Mars. I'd much rather hear you talk about that. This game was originally released on PlayStation 2, but it was just released for PS4 and is one of those games that just stays in your mind. Maybe because of Hideo Kojima, was one of the producers on the project, or maybe due to its fun and fast gameplay. Most of its producers on the project, most of its robot designs were made by Yoji Shinkawa, same guy that did the character design in Metal Gear Solid. Either way, it's a blast to go through, and if you like mechs like me, you won't be disappointed. So what is this game? It's a 6 to 8 hour story. It follows Dingo Egret, a miner working on Callisto, he inadvertently discovers the orbital frame Jehuti hidden when he is attacked by Bahram forces who have come to seize it. Dingo climbs into the Jehuti and engages the attackers. What follows is an anime style and the right amount of cheesiness story where you bump into different characters and end up fighting for a greater cause. It's really hard not to go into details as I don't want to spoil anything. It's worth it to get through the little slow start of the story because when things kick off, it really kicks off. It gives you some twists and turns, all to a good soundtrack that mixes strings and electronics in a unique way. I mentioned the gameplay before, and it gives you a bunch of different tools to use on the PS4 version. We got a stable frame rate and 4K resolution. Oh, and best of all, if you got a PSVR, it's available to play through from the inside the cockpit from the start to finish. Also, shout out to Zephyr Moon for doing an awesome drawing of Jehuti. Lots of love and respect, Lotias.
And Lotias is in there in chat.
Were you switching photos the whole time that I was reading? Okay.
That worked out really well.
Well, did we have the drawing from Zephyr Moon of the Jehuti in there?
No.
Oh, so that was one of your October.
One of the
Inktober's.
Inktober,
Yep.
Okay.
Cool game.
Right. Noah Weinstein, heard of her?
Yes.
Choice music. And let me make sure it's on there. Oh, my phone, my camera. Wait, no. Maybe it's in the video. Oh, dear. All right, I'm going back on the mic for this one.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. So, we're going to be muted while we listen to the music, if I understand correctly.
Correct.
Yes. We had a hard time setting up our little speakers. You know what? Sometimes you just got a Windows 10 issue. Sometimes your speakers just disconnect themselves. There's nothing to do. You update your drivers, your computer doesn't care. So we do have a way to listen on our end, but you won't be able to hear us listening. And so, yeah, when we come back out, we'll tell you what we heard.
Oh, that's because it's SoundCloud. That's why. Okay, hold on. Nope.
Xbox, reinstall Windows 10. Xbox, please, fix my speakers.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Oh, I already did put it on there. I'm a dummy. Okay. Just want to state for the record. Oh no, it's obviously an intro for this. I'll read notes, but I just want to state for the record. I'm outclassed here. I got beat real good by Noah on this song. Hi, Brandon and Kyle. This was a really great month to be an AZA fan. Box P keeps blowing me away, whether it's the sharp writing, the adorable designs, the sheer effort put into it, or the pure joy of getting to watch it along with chat. And No Redemption wowed me in completely different ways. Everyone involved did such an incredible job. Actually, I liked No Redemption so much, especially your part, Brandon, that my submission this month is a cover of Disabuse Me, which is basically the dopest Disney villain song ever. It's kind of rough because I had to record it in my dorm room and mix it in GarageBand, and I've never submitted music for the showcase, so I'm real nervous about that, but I hope you can still appreciate it. Obvious, most of the credit has to go to Ian for, writing it, and to Brandon for performing it originally and killing it. Love and respect. I think Noah absolutely kills this, and because we got to turn our mic off, you can just kick back and hear it with us, but and I'll talk about it again after, but take it away, Noah.
Please disabuse me of some notions. I've convinced myself it's possible to love. Unending treacherous devotions and all the miseries thereof. I've fallen on my knees before you, shattered cartilage and bone, bled dry by choice perchance to see you, and plead my sorry aching soul. Please find within me something human. Please find within me something good. If I know myself, I'm lost without you. Please find within me something. Something, anything. I'm begging for forgiveness. Something, anything, please. Something, nothing. I won't fight you. Something, anything, please. Nothing was ever all that different between us. Oh, but now I see something has changed. Something you can live with. Well, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. A little reassuring knowing a pro like Noah also uses GarageBand. And Jones, can you imagine just a situation, the living situation where like a sock on the door means, hey, like I'm recording a song in here.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you leave the room for a sec? I gotta record this song. Just in a dorm room. Or maybe your roommate hangs out. I don't know.
But I love it. I hope, like, when it first popped up, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Like, it's my song. It's fun to like hear." Because I only heard this song for the first time like a month ago, and so it was neat when she first started singing. I was like, "Oh no! I hope you just go nuts. I hope you don't sing what I sang. I hope you like do your own like bits and like, especially the end. Like, I think the last like 10 seconds of that, man, woo, I get chills. Good stuff. I got the Ian version of singing everything because he sang all the songs and then he sent them to everybody to be like, here, you're gonna sing it, but here's me singing it, so like how the tune goes.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, disabuse me. All right, so I got this song, and I like click on the MP3 and it just starts like, I'm like, yes. Mm-hmm. I love this song already.
What does it mean to disabuse someone?
Basically, just the way I perceived it is, hear me out.
Oh.
Like you might hate me, you might not want to hear this, but I'm gonna make my case right now, and you're not gonna like it, but tough because I'm gonna take this moment for myself. There's a lot of different potential meanings of the song, and it's interesting. Whoops, sorry.
We have a repeated concern that Bearded Scotsman 86 is not represented in the community comments.
All right,
do we have that somewhere upcoming?
It might be in there. I do not have Bearded Scotsman 86 on the list, but we can.
Oh, okay.
That's what we want to pick all this stuff up.
All right.
At the end of the day, and let me just make sure we didn't blow right past it. There's a lot going on, as you can see. There's a lot of comments, a lot of media.
Johnson has to do and XWF Outlaw.
So apologies if we missed it, but we won't. I'll go back there on Salad Mike and pick it up. It sucks to miss comments, but at the same time, if we get to it at the end, it's just like, you're the finale, Michelle Jackson is back. Again, we were going to mute ourselves for a lot of the stuff.
Did you ever have a roommate who put a sock on the doorknob? Did you ever have that where it's like, I want to go back to where I live, and it's like, oh, my roommate is like doing something right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's very specific.
Okay.
Like I never did like the actual, like the sock thing, but
It'd be like, hey man, can I like have Friday night?
I would just lock the door.
Oh.
Because it's like, did you do this specific thing? Like, no, I didn't. Like, were your roommates mad at you because they wanted to get into the room and you wouldn't let them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that happened.
All right. Okay.
Michelle Jackson with another amazing update on her game again. We're going to knock out us so we can hear it because the sound of the PC is being weird. Oh, take it away, Michelle Jackson.
Hey everyone, OBS hates me, so I just had to put together like 30 screenshots, sorry. So I started working on dialogue portraits this month. You can disregard the background, it's just my testing and debug area. And the characters you're seeing right now are Magenta, the armor crafter on the left, and Aurelie, one of the battlers on the right. I picked them because they relate to what I'm going to show later. Making the portraits has been a really interesting challenge. I've been hesitant to do so because I don't like to make art assets until I have a final design, that way I don't have to go back and redraw them a bunch of times. But making the portraits has made me consider how complicated, how much detail I want to put into the designs, since I have to draw them like 50 times and I want to make something that's easy for me to replicate over and over again. So the focus for today is armor crafting, but before I get into that, I wanted to talk quickly about Magenta as a character. I think I've mentioned before that there are 3 kinds of playable characters: Battle, Navi, and Support. You know, Battle and Navi. Support characters have levels, EXP, MP, like any other, but they never go out into the field. They strictly provide goods and services to the party, and in Magenta's case, that's crafting armor. So within the game, armor isn't like traditional plate mail, it's clothes that have been enchanted in some way to make them suitable for battle and to improve the abilities of the fighters. Hence, Magenta is a seamstress, not a blacksmith. So instead of having a ton of different armors to buy, each character has a few different armor designs that they can unlock over the course of the game, and that the player can customize to suit their gameplay style. Each armor set is split up into 5 pieces from headgear to footwear, and each of those pieces is treated as an individual piece of armor within the game system and can be modified separately. So this is the general formula for armor crafting. You pick the character you want to look at, then their specific model of armor. You toggle through the different pieces, and from there you can change the outer fabric, the lining, or the stitching. The outer fabric generally having to do with defense and resistance, the lining with accuracy, attack power, passive states, and the stitching with mainly amplifying the other effects, sometimes adding specific smaller effects. That's it for the update. October was a weird month. I sang Snake Eater at an audition and it went better than expected. I also learned that Splatoon 2 giveth just as it taketh away. I got this adorable Splatoon 2 Roomba that I named Mercutio, but I also finally surpassed 1600 points in a match, and still lost. So I'm dead inside now. Bye!
I just want to give credit to not only this amazing project. It's so fascinating to see so many different facets of it. Like, I've seen these characters ever since, like, you know, her showing the original conception of them. But these videos can't be easy to make. You're like writing the script and trying to communicate like what you're looking at and talking about each thing. Judging by the type of stuff that we produce and the amount of time that it takes, I appreciate not only contributing to the showcase, but just getting another glance at this game.
My takeaway is nice thighs on the pants. You know, you could have just represented pants as 2 straight lines, you know, that are kind of attached this way, but we get like some thighs on those pants. We get the idea of like what they'll look like when they're on. That was cool.
And finally, you've heard about them many times. It is time for Rayloaza to actually post themselves.
Rayloaza.
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 It's hard.
Taking my time. Hello, allies. This is my first community showcase, and I'm very excited to be a part of it. In August, I did some fan art of the EZA crew alongside Pokemon that I thought would fit you guys nicely. My idea was to bring those today to hear your thoughts on them, as well as provide something that I think the audience would enjoy. However, October has been a busy month for me, and I brought something else instead. I took on a challenge for the month of October to draw a gaming villain every single day. Now, I know there's a strict limit as to how many pictures one can show, 9 I think, so instead, I prepared a video briefly showcasing all the villains, and some progress pictures as well.
That is what a little loophole you found there, Ray
to make it a bit
Laza.
more interesting. Correct, but you can't just like, oh, I'm gonna make a video, so I make a video. Like, you have to know how videos are made.
All right, okay.
And
All right.
and the thing about comments and the thing about pictures and photographs is, if you show us a video, you are guaranteed at least 3 minutes of us
You're
watching
locked
the
in
thing
that
because
3 minutes.
because
I get
that
what you're
is-
saying.
We might
Yeah.
comment a little bit afterward. Whereas if you drop a really good comment, we might be talking about that for 10 minutes.
Very
You never
true.
know.
Very,
So,
very true. I get that.
I don't really know how long we're going to feature any one thing, but I'm always open to more comments and questions and concerns about the guidelines and the way the
Actually,
this is
I think
structured.
you kind of balanced it that way. It's good game balance, Jones. I get it.
So there is. Unfortunately, he had an awesome version with the Kefka theme, which sounded so close to the original. I was like, we're gonna get flagged for that. But Ray Laza also submitted a version with a more showcase-friendly music track, and that is the one I picked. But if you want to see this montage with a very dope villain theme behind it, you can. And we are going to make ourselves quiet and enjoy this wonderful villain. This is a really wonderful video about all of these submissions for the month of October. Take it away, Ralawaza.
That was really good, dude.
Really, really good.
That was really good.
Kind of overwhelming. There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff I love about that. Love the picks.
Yeah.
Some really crazy stuff. Love how you're bouncing around to all sorts of different genres. I love how all of them have a really distinct style. I love the BioShock one. Like, Drew looks very different from a lot of the other ones. Some of the ones like some of the Final Fantasy characters, and Waluigi's really great because it's just like the head. It's like a bust, or just the focus on an icon almost. Some of these are like really awesome emotes.
I think the Eco Queen may have been my favorite.
The light was so good. I loved Edgar Ross and how they made it look stylized, like the period, like an old photograph. And, really, really incredible, and just a great way to put that all together. And the quality of the art aside, fun to just do another journey through a month. Fun to look at day by day a project that you're working on, and apologies, I couldn't use the Catholic theme.
Getting to see like parts of the creative process, like lengthening arms and just like making some. Just that pose isn't working. It's just fun to see that stuff. That's fun.
Rob, Bob, Will, I hope you both are well. I've been working on a thing, but underestimated how soon Kyle would be back on the showcase by a few months, so this is being submitted in festering pile mode. Just for quick background, I found EZA about a year and a bit after you guys had started, and I was stumbling through videos. I found myself enthralled, yet thoroughly confused at Bosman v. Wozniak, having started 40-something weeks in. I resolved to start from the very beginning, and it took almost another year to get through, especially once the music and bits really started. I would listen during downtime at work, chuckling through Kyle's bits got me through some pretty stressful times. I have my favorites bookmarked, and I will return to them when I need an emotional pick-me-up. I wanted to show my appreciation somehow, but missed the poem boat, and eventually came up with something. I sometimes like to pretend to be a game developer in my free time, and I will try out various game engines. It helps to have some small contained idea to try, though. A bit, if you will. So I picked out a weird engine in Python and started making my favorite Boz v. Woz bit in it. Turns out, this engine is kind of trash, but oh well. I got the bare minimum working for the bit, but for what it's worth, I had many more ideas. Finally, at the 11th hour, and after the showcase post had gone up, I realized I might need to make a cover of the song that I used for YouTube-related reasons, and a garbage pile was born. But that's okay, it's my garbage pile. This video is of me playing it, and I hope you guys get a kick out of it. I'd like to give a special shout out to Kyle. Your creativity is inspiring, and I look forward to everything you make. Congrats on Boxpeak. It's on a whole nother level.
Creative encouragement.
Oh, well, I didn't say you don't inspire me creatively, but there's a difference between being inspired creatively and actively taking the time to produce those goals.
Okay.
That's the...
I'm trying to do what I can, Jones. I'm trying.
If you can do all this work for the next show, I don't have time to do the next thing that I want to do, and we'll all be happy, and everybody will be great. I missed a bunch of stuff. I'm seeing posts in here that I don't have comments for. I read other comments. My collating of all of this wonderful content.
You mean we going out of order? You mean?
Not out of order. I'm seeing things in XSplit that I don't have the paragraphs for. So before we wrap up, I'm going to find Bearded Scotsman's thing,
and
we're going to Rammer specifically gave us a lot of really good stuff, and I did not. Kevin Gillet has a post, and I did not put that in there. But here's Rob Bob Will.
Okay,
take it.
It needs Timon and Pumbaa yelling at you. No, the blue grubs! But it's a good start. I gotta say it's a good start.
Oh, dear. Oh, I might not have this one. Joseph Caruso. Hey, Jones and Kyle, I finished buying a house and fully moved in. Making an investment and moving is scary, isn't it? I can slowly increase my Patreon pledge to what it was before, and now that I've hit the community showcase submission tier, I'd like to continue my series of Overwatch hero rundowns. This time I'm showing off my favorite and by far most played hero, Zarya. It's painfully hard to condense a beginner's guide to just 3 minutes, so apologies for how fast this moves. I love edits that move fast. But at least this time I actually stopped the popping sounds on my microphone. I hope hope my video will show you two Overwatch noobs how Zarya is high risk, high reward, and is benefited by a player that can predict enemy behavior and communicate effectively with their team. P.S. One thing I forgot to communicate in the video is that Zarya's ultimate only lasts a few seconds, so if your teammates don't pounce on the opportunity or you fail to catch anyone in it, it's a waste of one of the best moves in the game. It was a waste of the submission for me not to have it prepared. Ugh.
Hey kid, we need some grubs. Why don't you go out and find some for us? And hurry, make them fat grubs!
That's not bad.
That's basically how the game goes. But then when you bring some grubs back, they're like, no kid, we said blue grubs! Please, I'm hungry! No, the blue grubs! Yeah, you have to make it so you, like, the red grubs get in your way, and then Timon and Pumbaa get really mad if you get the red grubs.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, I didn't grab it.
Timon, I think we should find a new friend! You might be right, Pumbaa.
Zarya has just two abilities.
All right.
Oh, I hear something.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay.
Hang on to your butts.
Holding on to
Hold
my
on
butt.
to your butts, sorry.
Hold on to my butt. Getting it set up.
Going straight from YouTube.
We gotta teach you a little something about Hakuna Matata, my friend. It means just the blue grubs.
You proud of yourself?
It's just the blue grubs.
All right.
Sorry, Johnson.
I'm going to shut Kyle up so we can watch this video.
Zarya has just two abilities, a barrier shield for herself and a projected barrier for her teammate. A Zarya barrier makes a target practically invincible, but it only lasts for 2 seconds, and both the self and projected barriers have relatively long cooldown periods, so manage them sparingly and save these abilities for clutch moments. Her primary fire is a medium-range laser, while her alternate fire is a lobbed ball of energy with splash damage. A good strategy is to whittle down an enemy's health by tracking their movements with the laser, and then alt-fire near their feet so the splash damage guarantees you the kill. By default, Zarya does minimal damage, but if her barriers are damaged by an enemy, her charge level increases, which is displayed by the number at the center of her screen. As this number goes up, so does her damage output. At a maximum charge of 100, Zarya's DPS is absurdly high, especially for a tank. Since your charge level decays over time, you need to continuously have enemies shoot at your barriers. It's easy to stand in a choke and absorb predictable spam fire with your own barrier, but to really excel, you'll need to play mind games, baiting the enemy into shooting at your most vulnerable teammates.
It's hit. Oh, thank you.
Try to use your self-barrier for greedy attempts at getting high charge, and hold on to the projected barrier for when a teammate needs to be saved when they're being ganged up on or about to be the victim of a one-hit kill, like when Reinhardt pins them with his charge ability.
You're alright.
Speaking of Reinhardt, he's an excellent tank to pair with Zarya, especially if the player has an aggressive playstyle. Aggressive Reinhardts charge at the enemy, cleaving his huge hammer wildly through targets. Sadly, this tactic is usually a death sentence because the enemy can see him charging a mile away, he's now separated from his team, and he has to put down his shield when attacking, and of course he's easy to shoot, being so big. When building Zarya's charge, it's best to give the projected barrier to a large teammate since they have a big hitbox, and no one's a bigger threat and a bigger target than an aggressive Reinhardt. There's a rhythm to Zarya. You let a teammate charge in first like an idiot. Give them a barrier when they're about to die, saving them and charging yourself up. Then follow them in to take their place as the damage dealer.
Alright, I'm ready.
Overwatch is all about synergy, and perhaps the best example of this is Zarya's ultimate, the Graviton Surge, which sucks all nearby enemies into its point of contact, but does almost no damage itself. However, it's the perfect setup for a teammate's ultimate such as Pharah's Rocket Barrage. You should also alt-fire into it because every trapped enemy will take the splash damage. When heroes use their damage-dealing ultimates, they are often stationary. So after you fire off that Graviton Surge, give a barrier to protect the glass cannon that the enemy team will undoubtedly be looking for.
Get pumped. Огонь по готовности.
Yeah, good stuff.
I have one bit of feedback for that one.
All right.
The Get Pumped font.
Right.
We need a bit. I think we need a better font there at the end.
All right.
Because like just Get Pumped, and it was like black, right? It was kind of hard to read. Make it huge, but really like I think that's kind of cool thing because like that is a complicated character, and it was almost hard for me to follow that. But I like at the same time as someone who doesn't play Overwatch, like enough of it was clearly communicated that I kind of like got it, you know. Mm-hmm. Interesting character.
One thing that I also really enjoy about those videos, Joseph, that I think is really impressive is when I'm cutting reviews or previews, there definitely is a difference between somebody describing something very specific that is being talked about and just like, I think this game's pretty. And so it gives me like as far as the shots that I can select, I have a lot more freedom to kind of move around and pick different things. But these videos that you're making, Joseph, every single line needs to be specifically the detail that you're showing.
True.
And it's really, really cool to see a lot of that stuff being represented. And you give an example of something and then see the playing. And I love when you're like, you're all right. Like, I like that one person getting pinned against the wall and you're just like, nope, I'm good at this class. You're
good
fine.
audio up. Yeah, exactly. That was cool.
So yeah, we definitely have some stuff missing here. I'm going to find, I got T-Spawn right in front of me. So I'm going to jump to T-Spawn. Who has, that might be Art, and I just completely missed that. Let me see. Oh boy. We got Chum, we got Sebastian, we got Teague. Maybe it's on this page. Sorry, everybody. Yep, here we go. Hey, Brandon and Kyle, hope you're doing well. Anyway, a few months ago, I shared a master sword I was in the middle of making, and I never finished it. But earlier this month, I made and finished a different sword from Breath of the Wild. I modeled, 3D printed, and painted the sword you unlock from the 8-bit Link amiibo. Boom.
Cool. Man, that looks good.
I also made a replica of the weapon displays from Link's house in Hateno Village in the game. It was a ton of fun to make everything, and I'm really pleased with how it worked out. Also leaves a second comment, also not part of the main comment, but if anyone wants to make their own, I uploaded the files to Thingiverse. So again, if you want to go to patreon.com/EZALlies, look up the November Community Showcase. Here's a close-up of the handle. Really looks amazing. I love the dings to it, you know?
Yeah.
The damage, the sword strikes. And here is the
that's
the display.
So nice. I need to scale, though. Is there like a hand in one of these? I need to know if it's like one-to-one scale.
And close up on the...
That's so cool. Is it Hylian?
I think so, yeah.
Man.
Just incredible detail there.
That's pretty nice.
So, excellent work. I'm going to go full cam on Kyle just for funsies while I scan through here and just see all of the fun stuff, all the fun comments that we have not heard from, all the stuff that I missed.
Sure.
Here's Bearded Scotsman, who... Let me see if this is a photo up there on top there. Yep. Hey, Brandon and Kyle. Last month I provided pictures of walks I've gone on in my area. I sadly didn't provide a picture of the castle I went past. As per the request given to Jones, I have a picture my wife took of it for you. This is Barcaldine Castle. To answer the question you asked last month, Jones, it is reported to be haunted. There was a murder in the 17th century of the brother of Sir Duncan Campbell, who built the Black Castle. Once the brother was murdered, the killer fled and found shelter with Sir Duncan himself, as Sir Duncan wasn't aware of his brother's death. Once he found out, it was too late, as the killer had moved on. The brother haunts the castle as punishment for Sir Duncan sheltering his killer.
He didn't know. He didn't know, you dumb ghost.
My personal update this month is, firstly, I did get the Platinum in GTA Vice City that I started last month. I have now moved on to work on GTA San Andreas and Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, whilst also playing through World of Warcraft and Overwatch for their Halloween event. I also took part in a 5th anniversary celebration for a trophy website I use, www.truetrophies.com. The challenge put forth was to earn a trophy with the name starting with each letter to spell out Happy birthday, True Trophies. I earned the 25 trophies in just under 2 days of playtime to complete it in 5th place. True Trophies has an interesting concept for
That's so
trophies.
cool, by the way.
It calculates the amount of users that have a trophy versus how many have played the game and gives a true score for the trophy rather than just the base value. Love and respect, Bearded Scotsman, 86.
Cool website.
Fascinating, yeah.
I think I may have used it. Do they have guides as well? I think I may have been there.
But love the castle. Thank you. Thank you for the castle pickup there.
I wonder if there's just like some really easy like some people just knew like I know where to go for a P. I got an easy P, you know? Oh, H is gonna be hard. There's no easy H trophies.
Yeah, I'll admittedly I was rushed in putting all of this stuff together. I have missed all sorts of crazy stuff. So I'm gonna go full cam to get Kyle's reaction on this, and I'm gonna read this directly from Patreon.
All right.
Because we need Kyle's reaction to this.
Sure.
Hello, Kyle and Brandon. This is from Caesar Villa. I'll take advantage of that the Pokemon veteran and newcomer are there to share my views in that franchise. Buckle up. This is gonna get nasty. My story with Pokemon is not that different from Jones's. I played Blue when it launched and found it pretty entertaining. It was fun to catch the Pokemon and explore, but since I never knew anyone that had the game, it was a solo experience. I got back into the franchise for XY with the promise from some guys from work that we would trade and fight constantly. Again, that never happened,
Never
but
pans
since
out.
I was stuck with the game, I played it and found it entertaining but overwhelming with almost 5 times as many Pokemon to catch and very dumb at some points. The first is the story. I know it's a game for kids, but seriously, make an effort to make it a little compelling for adults too. Adults are the ones sticking with the franchise for so long. The second is the gym battles. They suck and make no sense. Why a gym leader would only have 3 underpowered Pokemon in her team while defending it? Also, you're giving me the power to control Pokemon of higher levels. Why are your Pokemon not at that level then? I get people you encounter in your travels to be underpowered and underteamed. They're catching Pokemon just like me. They don't want them to faint or be sent to the PC. So they have space and weak Pokemon. But for a gym leader not to be fully equipped and underpowered? Nah, sorry, that makes no sense. Either have a full team with Pokemon on the level I'm at, or just a few with a level closer to the cap you will give me. And also, I think the battles in general are not that great. It's basically select a move, watch an animation, and repeat. The stats and numbers are just that, numbers. I'm sure people can argue that they have meaning, but it's not something one can grasp easily. I'd love to have the trainer battles changed to something Mario plus Rabbids like, where you have this grid with trainers on opposite sides of the board and Pokemon advancing, moving, and facing each other. You have a little stamina, you cannot move as further, you can fly, you can take vantage points, something of the sort that makes the abilities and uniqueness of every Pokemon a little more significant. Of course, that will never happen. It's just my dream for a new generation built from the ground up for the Switch, but I'd like to know if you agree with any of my views. What do you say, Cal?
I agree with them pretty much up until, like, I think Mario plus Rabbids style would be a completely different game. I agree with you about gym battles. Like, there is a lot of staleness, and I agree with you that you're just like, hey, a lot of adults play these games, and you're not putting in anything in there for them. Like, I realize there's a huge child audience, sure, but it's not even a vast majority of the people buying and playing those games. And so, yeah, yeah, Pokemon's got problems. It's got problems. If we like talk about Red and Blue, Jones, and you're talking about like Brock, you feel like that those are actually like Brock's 2 best guys because Brock doesn't like get out too much. The world of Pokemon Red and Blue is so hostile that like that's just where people around there get to. You're a special person, or you're a special character who is willing to go out and adventure this entire world, and that is meant to be unusual within that world. So, you know, it kind of, the more games you put in there, the less sense it's going to make. Doesn't hold water. X and Y is like one of my least favorites of the bunch.
That's fair. I'm going to grab my laptop because
Oh.
what I think happened, and maybe I need to like talk to
Patreon?
chat a lot more just about how this goes down, is a lot of these. So Caesar Villa just said save last night. XWF Outlaw just said hold. And then I think this morning they were added, and I was
there's a
I
time
was getting
limit.
ready for Cup and Jones.
Yeah, okay.
So a lot of the stuff was submitted last night. I missed it. And I'm just getting it now. But we got time.
Yeah,
I'm streaming for another.
Heck yeah, we got time.
We got time.
But like, take it easy on Jones, everybody.
That's fine.
Take it easy on him. He's got to do Cup of Jones stuff.
It's fine because we got chat to let us know when
Okay.
we're potentially missing
All right.
stuff. Yeah, Lolly slipped in, and we skipped XWF Outlaws post from last month. So
Oh boy.
So we got 2 to pick up.
Cheeseworm, I agree. Pokemon Black and White, they hold up. Pretty sick. Though apparently, who didn't like White earlier? Who said like the pixels are just too much? I don't like 2D games.
Yeah.
We had that comment earlier today. Mm-hmm. Brutal.
And Rammer's got a great comment that is multimedia, so we will get to that.
Okay.
All right. XWF Outlaw. Good afternoon, Jones. Blood. This was last month. And chat. Sorry I had to miss last month due to a payment error with Patreon. Turns out it worked out better than expected since my hold comment, little pig, made it on EZA Clips that week. Rest in peace. So thanks to whoever clipped that if you're in chat today. So my games this month I have played have a few usual suspects. So here comes the lightning round. Okay. Played in Platinum Spider-Man. Wow, what a game. Swinging around Manhattan with the perfect control mechanisms feels so amazing. Pun intended. Goaty contender. Bought the season pass and can't wait to see what happens next.
Not a pun.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Arrived at the second city and I like the game so far. Combat is quick and stylish, lush and beautiful jungles, and it is so kick-ass to see Lara Croft in full-on John Rambo mode taking out Trinity. Super Mario Odyssey. Quest for 999 moons. I'm almost there, Jones. 900 moons. All that's left is coin farming, 97, and the dreaded jump rope and volleyball challenges. Fortnite. Season 6 has started, and I love this addicting game. Pixel Ripped. Pixel was spelled with the E after the L. 1989, a PSVR title with a retro NES and Game Boy art style.
Yeah.
This game within a game with a cute story and dazzling puzzles to complete is one I could see the Allies loving. That's all for now. Hope to talk to you next month, barring any payment problems. I begin my road to Kingdom Hearts 3 with my full playthrough of the series of the fall. Love and respect. So apologies that you were not able to jump into Patreon, and then when you did, we missed your comment. So here's the comment for October. I've gotten back on the Kingdom Hearts horse this last month with the upcoming release of Kingdom Hearts 3. I have nearly completed Kingdom Hearts 1.5, and going back to this gem is a bit rough since I haven't played the original since its original release on PS2. The facial designs, jumping from flat animation to fully moving facial features during cutscenes, is something I never noticed before. The frustrating bosses like Ursula and Dragon Maleficent were tough nuts to crack. Playing on hard didn't help matters much, but I digress. Played the Spider-Man DLC, and I'm seriously in love with the character dynamic between Peter Parker and Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat. Still feels great swinging around after taking some time off from it. Finished Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and as beautiful as the jungle environments are and the tomb challenges are fun, the story felt hollow and was filled with many missed opportunities. In my opinion, it is the second best Tomb Raider reboot, ahead of Rise of the Tomb Raider. Last, some personal brags. I have locked down my badges for PAX East. I have never done a PAX convention before, and my second convention ever. Also, I'm going to Disney World. Cue Giddy Jones. In closing, I would like to give a sincere congratulations to Kyle Bosman for the fantastic work on Box Peak. This project bleeds your passion on screen. It's been a pleasure seeing the universal love for Box Peak as each episode releases is an absolute joy. Thanks, and hope this post updates in time again.
Didn't do it.
Yeah.
Didn't update in time.
Not updating time. Did not get that till this morning. And I realized again, with all of us around the different places in the world, what time that is. It could be tough to, but I was doing it until like 2 a.m.
I would say don't hold. Because this happens to me sometimes where, like, I have progress. Well, like, I've read all of these comments. I know I've read all of them up to this point.
Right.
And so it's easy to skip over one that was previously a hold. You don't have to hold. There's no point. We're going to get through all these.
We are getting all of these. All the ones that just said hold. Mike Hook said hi.
Hi, Mike Hook.
Mike Hook 1 just said hi.
Sure.
So, hi right back at you. I don't think that post will be updated anytime soon. Cisco Ace Jackson Garcia continues the Lunar Valen Academy stories. This is a story Cisco has been telling, an RPG world.
I don't think I got one of these. Is this a new thing?
It's if you haven't heard it, it's new to you.
Well, it's been like 8 months since I've been on it last,
It is a rare occasion for a child to be born at the height of a lunar eclipse. Rarer yet that it is during a perfect eclipse. With that, a child born under such circumstances is blessed with a connection to magic and shadows. Perfectly equipped for the seedier aspects of society, they typically get taken in by guilds such as those under the umbrellas of thieves or assassins. But those blessed are taken at birth and become members of the Shadow Moon Enclave. Fulfill your promise and maybe you could even take the name of Shadow Moon with you, letting the world at large be mystified and terrified of the power you possess and where you come from. Calyx was one such boy, born during the Shadow Moon. But rather than promise, he showed adeptness unseen in the Enclave since its founding some 1,000 years ago. It came easy to the boy, using magic and weapons of the trade as if he had wielded them in the womb. By his adolescence, he had masters shadow manipulation as well as shadow teleportation. Without much exposure to the outside world and special treatment given by most for his seemingly blessed being, he became arrogant in his young adulthood. The elders feared if left to his devices as it currently stood, then he would regress and not go any further. So, through their contacts abroad, they alerted the Lunar Valen Academy of Calyx's existence. Of course, they were more than happy to accept the prodigy as a student. Calyx attempted to argue his way out of leaving, but eventually acquiesced when it became abundantly clear he had no say in the matter. And so he was brought to the woods that held the Hidden Academy. When he came face to face with the other recruits, he looked down on them with disdain. Rather than dealing with others, he avoided them, remaining at the back and occasionally disappearing into the void. The forest gave plenty of shadows for him to play with. On one such occasion, whilst Calyx was hiding in the shadows behind the group, another recruit took him by surprise when they introduced themselves to him. "Greetings, Shadow Moon. Impressive skills you have for someone who appears to be of a similar age to myself. My name is Branton." Calyx was so taken aback that his shroud failed him, and he made an inappropriate noise for someone of his stature. Clearing his throat before speaking, Calyx then replied, "I am equally impressed you could even ascertain my position, let alone my presence. You know of my family, I see." "Ah, yes, I do. It is my business to know the inner workings of this world. Sorry to have startled you. I simply felt drawn to you when it became apparent to me the skills you possessed, and I'm sure we will be seeing more of each other at the Academy. Was a pleasure. Farewell, for now." Branton waved, and as luck struck the gem in his bracelet, Calyx blinked, and he was gone. Having arrived at the Academy and entering into the Hall of Paths, Calyx walked immediately to the rightmost path, shrouded in darkness, besides the statue of a cloaked elf. Grabbing some dark leather armor and pulling his cloak from a void chamber, he continued down the hall, picking up a short bow and twin daggers as he went. Once he reached his bedroom, he quickly went to sleep, wanting to prepare himself for the future. "Branton, I shan't forget you, nor the insult you placed upon me." P.S. Hey boys, sorry for the long post. Got a little into it with Kyle's character coming to me during moments of inspiration at work.
That's my character?
You're Calyx. I'm assuming I'm Branton. Weaving his encounter with Jones was also a rapid-fire inspiration. It all just flowed. Love you all, and thanks for reading. Hope you continue to enjoy the snippets. Also, shout out to Chat, Jones, and Ian for their reaction to my trip to the Philippines. Was heartwarming. PPS for Jones, Brianton, Calyx is now available to join the party. And he's dead.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
I like how when I went to school, got straight to work. I'm like, I know where my room is. I'm going to pick up this bow and these daggers. I'm going straight to bed. Just muttering to myself how I will not forgive you for that insult. As I fall asleep, wake it up, ready to use my shadow powers.
Okay. Jordan we read. Dan Allen we got through. That was the Shenmue thing. Carl Williams is good. Noah. Let me know, chat, if somebody's like, I submitted something, we didn't get to it. We have all of the anime suggestions. Kyle Lee, we got to. Rammer, we have not. So I will leave that there, and because actually I can just do that.
Oh,
well, these are fun. These are fun to listen to, so I'm actually going to do this over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I chose Shadow Assassin for my class way back when. Oh, during a Q&A, I guess. Is that what that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Hello, Mr. Jones and Mr. Bossman. This is my first community showcase submission from Rammer. I have compiled a list of rarely heard console error messages. These sounds can range anywhere between unsettling to downright terrifying. I hope that this is something you both can enjoy hearing and learning about if you already have not. The list below includes the console with the YouTube link and a short description of how I felt and/or detail regarding the sound. I suggest playing the short clip first and reading my description afterward. Please give your impressions after for each of these sounds before moving on to the next, if you would like as well. So here we go. Here is the first.
I'm sorry, is this a game? I have to identify what it's from?
No, just you'll see the screen.
Oh,
like
okay.
It's captured from the console, so you'll see what it is.
Got it.
But yeah, enjoy number one.
Warning, this disc is for use with the Sega CD system only. This disc contains CD-ROM data and is not for audio use. Please press stop on your disc player now. This disc contains CD-ROM data that may damage your audio system. Please stop playing this disc immediately.
This is so interesting. So that's programmed in Sega CD, I guess, as an anti-pirating thing?
Sega CD error sound. The loud, high-pitched guitars were meant to damage any speakers playing the disc and discourage piracy.
Okay.
The sounds are extremely atonal and sporadic. They left me feeling a bit dazed and disorganized. How do you feel, Kyle?
I feel good, dude.
All right.
I would, like, if I heard my little Sega CD telling me that, I would, like, turn it up. It's like, yeah, right, you can't hurt my speakers, you know?
Well, let's see how you feel after this next one.
Okay. Jones, that one means your disc is broken. I've seen that one. That means like there's something wrong with me. The
PS2
console.
red screen error sound. Somber ambient sounds are heard in the background, and it leaves you with a feeling of isolation and fear of the unknown. Mm-hmm. It is almost as if you're being transported into some sort of black hole, and you do not know what is enveloping your body and mind. Or you're just like, my PS2 game is broken.
Yeah, felt that.
So you felt that one too.
Yeah.
So you're getting distinct emotions, whether
well, no,
nostalgia.
I've seen that one before. That one was not a surprise. At first, the red is weird, and then it's like, oh yeah, I've seen this screen.
Let's see if the next one's weird. Something went wrong.
That is a good one. That is so good.
PS1 booting unreadable disc. This one really terrifies me because at first you're lulled into a false sense of security with that recognizable PS1 sound. Is it that same futuristic sound of adventure and you think you're ready to face what is ahead, but little do you know what's behind that corner is terror itself. I was not prepared. This next one's crazy.
Okay.
I have never heard this one, and this one is extremely bizarre. I hope you enjoy. There you go. The original Xbox hidden sound. Mm-hmm. The sound was found hidden within the Xbox hard drive. It was designed to sound otherworldly and alien by using actual NASA communications and speeding mashing their dialogue. I think they succeeded. Creepy. Hope you enjoyed a small glimpse of rarely heard piece of gaming history. Love and respect, Christian, a.k.a. Rammer.
That was pretty fun, Christian. That was a good game. Not really a game, I guess, but those were cool. Jones is now searching for the next post.
When you were looking for, those that are...
Okay, so 2 trophy pictures from Bearded Scotsman. Candy Coated Thorns has a missed photo. XF Outlaw said Patreon ate their comment and sent a DM tweet to you, personally.
But we got through both of those.
Oh, okay.
For XWF. We should have. Sebastian Hall we did, Bullenbach.
Nivek says you have my music, but not my post, apparently.
Okay. So here's one.
Okay.
From Matt Bolenbach. Ahoy, Mr. Jones, Mr. Bossman, and my fellow allies. In honor of the personal, heartfelt, not to mention extremely effective video presentation from Mr. Jones at the most recent Hall of Greats and the subsequent induction of that game, I present Coin Song from Final Fantasy VI. Sincerely, Matt B. Music starts at 28 seconds. We're just going to go right into the original clip. Enjoy. Yeah.
That was really good.
I that score from that game is so incredible, and not to like go on and on and on because it did get in the Hall of Greats, and I should like focus on other games now, but it just amazes me how much there is to each of these tracks, and like when you really get into the story of those two brothers, like it's regal, but it's sad, it's classy, but it's, you know, like it's just such a somber tune. It's like respectful, but like clearly like mistakes were made. It's like there's a lot of regret, I feel, in that song. And I've never heard that song on guitar before.
Yeah, it's honestly a good
excellent.
pick for the instrument. I think it suits it well. It was really good.
And while we were on music, Kevin Gillet. Hello, Brandon and Kyle. I can't start any other way than by congratulating Kyle for how amazing Box Peak is. Kyle, what do you think about all this Box Peak love? Feel good?
Feels great. Shout out.
Feeling good, Kyle?
Shout out.
The opening theme is perfect, the attention to detail is impressive, the voice acting is brilliant, and the characters and world have me fully invested. Great job. As I mentioned in last month's submission, I haven't had a lot of time to work on a new piece of music this time, due to being in Japan. I was too busy thinking of Jones every time I saw a huge Red Dead billboard in the streets of Osaka, and thinking of Kyle every time I caught an Asia-exclusive Farfetch'd in Pokemon Go. Also, taking in the absolute beauty of the Kansai region and the kindness of the people, picking up Japan-exclusive GBA and DS games and video game soundtracks in retro game shops, and playing the original Mario Brothers, Mario Kart Arcade GP DX, and Taiko no Tatsujin in arcades. The dream! So I thought I'd share an older track I made that should be particularly appropriate for Mr. Jones right now, with Red Dead out and Animal Crossing Switch officially announced. Because you see, some time ago I made my version of KK Western. I was influenced by one of my favorite pieces of music ever, the theme for the French comedy film La Folie des Grandeurs, Delusions of Grandeur from 1971, starring the all-time best French comic genius Louis de Funès. Funès? No way I got that right. That theme was made by Michel Polnareff, a famous French singer-songwriter, and heavily what?
It's a JoJo reference.
And heavily inspired by Ennio Morricone for his film score. I urge everyone to seek out that theme, and I've put a link to it in my post. Okay, French class is over now. Basically, I thought the instrumentation from La Folie des Grandeurs and the melody of KK Western were a perfect match for each other, so please enjoy this couple of minutes of Wild West and Animal Crossing goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the mood for that.
It's one of my favorite KK songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Smash Bros. We would like turn off all the other ones just to hear that a bunch of times.
It's in Smash Brothers? That's awesome.
Yeah. No.
Also, again, if you go to patreon.com/EasyAllies, find that November Community Showcase post. Kevin also posted the music from Delusions of Grandeur if you want to hear the similarities there and the inspiration. Moving back over to art, we skipped over F Snow Zombie. Hello, Bosman and Jones. Here's something I've been working on and off as a warm-ups before I start working on big illustrations for work. Ever since Recruit Me was introduced as a segment on the podcast, I've been thinking on how I would personally translate the allies into an RPG. And since there's no real class system defined yet, as far as I know, I went ahead and made some for each of the allies, except for Ian, since it was stated he's a time witch at some point.
Yes.
Although right now Bossman and Jones are the only ones I've finished, I intend to do every ally and also recruited NPCs, but no promises for consistently monthly updates on this, since I'm usually way busier than I would like to be. Love your content. Keep on doing what you do. And
keep on doing what
Here we
you
go.
do. Ooh.
so here, I'm actually, now that I'm like at the keyboard, I'm actually gonna
This style.
focus on each character and blow that up so you can see a little bit. So your cloak, you can see, represents charts and NPDs, and your little clasp there on the top of your cloak represents love for ranking stuff. You are a strategist. That obviously deals in magic. You focus on buffs, debuffs, healing, low to mid damage, and mid to long range. The strategist is not the flashiest character, but makes their allies shine by making them stronger and their enemies weaker. So there you go.
Like shattered crystal. Man, that's such a cool style. I really like it.
And the hood up.
Yeah.
Very key. And then, yeah.
Oh, Jones, dude.
Ready for anything. Class rogue, range, melee, focuses on massive damage, traps, gadgets, area of effect, mid to close range. My tattoo there on my right arm represents the sponsors. They work like spell scrolls, limited uses. And I got my bow there for when backdoor shady deals arise. And the rogue is one of the damage dealers, specifically managing waves of mobs with various accessories available to them.
I mean, how sick is your bandana, dude?
I love it. I
This
love
is really good character
everything
design.
about it. Yeah, there's just a lot of really great. I love my boots. I love whatever's going on. My little pouch there on my right leg. Love the vest. Love the tattoos. Love the expression. Love the bandana, the arrows, and love my little arm plate on my left shoulder there. Really good.
Yeah, that is very
So if I
good.
get here, I'll shrink it so you can see both of us at the same time. There's the crew.
So far, dude.
Yeah, so far. We'll get everybody. But yeah, really love that. Amazing work. Okay. Not quite sure how we could breeze right past Candy Coated Thorns, but here we are. Hi, Jones and Kyle. I wanted to start off by saying I sped way through this project when I realized how close Community Showcase was, and was a bit sloppy on parts, but future pieces will be better. I recently took up the art of cross-stitching embroidery again, and seeing Taco's designs of Pixel Jordy and Pixel CD, I couldn't help but take a crack at doing more art with them. Both Jordy and CD's designs follow Taco's rendition, but I sketched and concepted Kazomi. I hope you guys enjoy. I believe that's under photos, because yeah. So, bam.
Jones, I'm afraid I've retweeted this one already.
That's fine. Well, all these are on Twitter, probably.
Yeah. But this is so sick. Maybe I haven't retweeted this yet, actually.
Box.
Yeah, that looks so cool, right? Like, just hang that in your living room for the rest of your life.
Love the expression on CD. I love it when you can really get close to the stitches and see like where the direction all those are going in, and
Yeah.
love the little accents on the top of his head and underneath his eyes.
Did you ever do cross stitching in school?
I did.
I
got
love this
one
stuff,
right
yeah.
here, actually.
Oh.
I think I do. Hold on a second. I think
Okay.
I got my yes. Yes. I can't believe I have this. Are you ready, chat?
I'm so
Are you ready.
ready. I'm
everybody?
really, really
I'm
ready.
gonna show this to Kyle first.
Dude, we need to hang it up. This was just hiding this whole time?
Yeah. Here, let me go full cam.
So what year is this from?
Oh man, I was like a teenager, I think, when I did this.
What's the design from?
The design is from the back of the Killing Joke. This is the back of that comic.
No, I mean like the cross stitch design. Is that off the dome, dude?
Just off the dome. Just while I was looked at that image.
No, Jones. Okay. All right. I'm thoroughly impressed by that.
And you know what's fun? Brandon
No,
Jones.
that's not fun. That's dorky. It's Batman and Joker.
Really good, Thorns. I don't want to steal Thorns' Thunder, too. Let's go back. I stole Thorns' Thunder. I stole the Thorn Thunder. Let's go back. Appreciate. Let's look at the full image one more time. Man, this has been a loopy showcase.
Yeah,
Boom.
it's so cool.
Really
Cool. Yeah, good Kazumi.
It's the first time I've dropped my own art on a showcase. That feels good. I'm so stoked that I have. Man, it never happens. So you're like, oh, I did a thing, but I don't have. Like, it was literally within arm's reach of where I was sitting. Oh boy, that's satisfying. All right.
Creative encouragement. You know what's hard about Kazumi is the bangs. You nailed them.
So let's stare at this box beat gorgeous thing while we get another comment from John Koenig. Hi, Brandon and Kyle. This month, I want to talk about the best RPG I played this year. It wasn't Octopath, or Pillars of Eternity, or Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It was Pokemon White. I have had a very on and off relationship with Pokemon throughout the years. Played Gold, then skipped to the next few generations until the Gold remake, and that was mostly away again until Moon fully brought me back into the franchise. I decided to start going back and playing the generations I missed, with Black and White being prompted by the unofficial Easy Allies Discord. There are 3 areas of the game I want to cover: the Pokemon, the details in the environment, and the story. Black and White made a bold move with its Pokemon selection. Until you finished the main game, every Pokemon you encountered was new to this game. This helps to give it a feeling reminiscent of the originals. While there are many Pokemon that fill very similar niches to those in Red and Blue, there are enough variations to keep everything new and interesting. For example, there's Venipede, an early game bug type like Caterpie or Weedle. However, unlike those which evolve quickly and become weak by mid-game, Venipede takes a significant investment in level before it reaches its final stage, but when it does, it's a powerhouse. Learning these new dynamics is a great experience, bringing you back to the world of Generation 1. Going full can. The next aspect I want to talk about is something I like to call the small details, the minor and sometimes overlooked things that help make the world feel alive. One of these is in the second town you visit. There's a hill you climb up, and when you reach the top, you can see part of a route you haven't traveled through yet. It's something that's easy to miss, but does a nice job giving you a little preview of your coming adventure. Another one of these small details is the new tickers found in the gatehouses between towns and surrounding routes. These tickers give pieces of information like the weather in surrounding areas or advice on what you visit in nearby towns. While the weather forecast is helpful for catching certain Pokemon, the way it's presented as is something you might see in a town's visitor center helps make the world feel real and believable. Finally, the story is genuinely one of the best Nintendo has ever produced. The story discusses themes of animal treatment, child abuse, fanaticism, and even the formation of political movements. The characters themselves are excellent, and also have some great development with a strong emphasis on finding a new purpose in life. Your repeated victories over one of your friendly rivals causes her to doubt her worth as a trainer and seek out something new. There's the League champion who suffered a tragic loss and is no longer sure he can live up to his title. And finally, there's the primary antagonist, N, who is raised to fulfill a single goal and slowly comes to question his indoctrination and whether or not his way is the only way. Again, creating a more mature narrative was a bold move, one that definitely paid off. Pokemon Black and White is an incredible game I would highly recommend to any RPG fan, regardless of their previous experience with Pokemon. It is absolutely, in my opinion, one of the greats. Pokemon Black and White, Kyle.
Yeah, that was like a just skip, dude. Don't skip, excuse me.
I was gonna say the other show should just be called Skip. It should be called Just Skip.
Just skip.
Don't skip and just skip.
Just skip. Stuff in my beard. Give it a second chance. Don't just skip. Don't just skip.
Get back up.
Yeah, Jones. I like Black and White is so cool for all those reasons just stated. I think you kind of nailed it.
One more, and it's just a comment. It's just a beautiful comment. So we're just beautifully full screen.
Last one, everybody.
Hi, Jones and Kyle. No time for a long comment this month as I'm busy stressing over a uni essay or a college paper, if you prefer. But I wanted to give a quick...
You would call it a college paper.
If that's the way that you speak to people. But I want to give a quick shout out to a 2018 game which I don't think I've seen EZA talk about. It's called Wander Song. It's an extremely jolly game about a bard trying to prevent the end of the world. The bard's main way of interacting with the world is through song. You use the right analog stick to sing, choosing one of 8 notes from a colored wheel. You can do this at any time, and the world reacts, with leaves changing color and the incidental music crescendoing as you sing. It's also used for most of the challenges. Sometimes you have to match notes, sometimes you do a quick rhythm game challenge. As well as singing, you can also dance at almost any time by pressing the left bumper. What I love most about the game is that the dancing achieves means absolutely nothing. It's purely there for the exuberance. But you can learn new dances as you progress and cycle through them on the fly using the triggers. Between the singing and the dancing, you really feel like such a jolly, dopey little bard. Basically, it's Pervance the game, or Birdcough, but I still think Birdcough was a little bit sinister. The obvious point of comparison is to Night in the Woods. There is some light platforming, and your time is split between towns and dreamlike interludes. The writing isn't as strong as Night in the Woods, nor are the environments quite as well realized, but the plot strikes a similar tone. Okay, that was quite a long comment after all. I haven't finished Wandersong yet, but I have a feeling some of you might enjoy it. I'd be fascinated to get Kyle's impressions someday.
Yeah, I've gotten several Twitter recs on Wandersong, and so I mean,
Nice.
I'm backed up big time. There's I think like 6 games that I've started and not yet finished. Wandersong is on the docket, believe it. But like, I don't know if it's at 2018 right now. We got 2 months left of this year, Jones.
I know, dude.
Oh,
I know.
Ugh.
I want that studio this year so bad. I just want just get it.
You want to move in this year?
Yeah, but I don't want it to be holidays and moving and stuff. You know, I don't want to deal with all that nonsense.
So you want to lock it down?
I want to lock it down.
Okay.
I want to hopefully lock it down tomorrow.
All right.
We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kyle Bossman.
Oh, thank you.
Kyle,
Thank you.
You inspire me creatively.
Please stop, please. Thank you. Okay.
You inspire me to make things I don't have time to do,
Okay,
Kyle.
Jones is trying to talk, everyone, please. Okay, please. Jones is trying to talk.
Now somebody takes this clip and then puts the cheering underneath it, and then that's the submission for next month. This really, I'm getting to the point I'm just blown away. I'm almost like in disbelief sometimes when we play pieces of music or we see a piece of art. It's like, you didn't make that. There's no way. Like, really, really, really incredible stuff. So I'm always grateful to every ally for stopping by and doing this fun showcase thing. Don't go anywhere. In just a matter of minutes, Kyle's back.
We might start a little late.
Might start a little late? Okay.
Yeah.
With Michael Huber for a full playthrough of The Quiet Man.
Yes.
And if you're watching the archive of the showcase and you're like, oh, I missed that, it's available on youtube.com/EasyAlliesPlays and, of course, on our backup clips here on Twitch. You can check that stuff out. But I have such tremendous respect for everybody that left a comment, everybody that took a beautiful photograph, everybody that just let us know a little bit more about some experiences they had in October or some challenges that they faced. So obviously, just a ton of love for the Allies, a lot of nice sentiments towards us, and we greatly appreciate it. But just being involved in the community showcase, that means you donate at a specific level. That means you've had the showcase in your mind every month. And I want to try to get the showcase posts up a little bit early. We have a lot of questions at the end of the month where they're like, there's only a couple days left. Where's the showcase post?
Yeah.
So I want to get that ahead. A lot of people don't leave the comment until the very end, so I didn't know that there was a tremendous rush for the end of the month. But near the end of the month, so near the end of November, the last week of November, you will get the post for the December community showcase. And if you would like to submit to that showcase, all you need to do is be a $10 or above patron of Easy Allies, patreon.com/EasyAllies, or you can do what so many people do, and I think is a lot of fun. Just hang out with us. Again, this has been a very loopy stream. Thank you for your patience, and Kyle and chat with some posts that I missed, but I'm glad that we finally got to everybody. If I didn't, let me know, and we will, of course, include you in next month. Again, just incredibly bowled over with all of the creativity from our community. And the sauciness of you, Kyle. But I like having you on because you good reactions. You're good. Yeah, the showcase can shift and move, and you move with it.
Yes.
And I appreciate that.
Thanks.
And I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you so much for supporting Easy Allies, and thank you so much for watching. And stay tuned if you're watching it live. If not, see you next month.